Let's begin, guys.
Yeah, take us there, dude.
You're in the Citadel of the Sun. Adina is bent over this body, Brother Sean. She's panically trying to heal him, trying to tend to his wounds. You put your hand on him and a light aura? How does your Revivify look?
The shadows around me coalesce and flow down my arm and stretch forth from my fingers into the corpse in front of me, and then people that are watching can see the shadows that I am pouring into the corpse trace along the venery of their body as it tries to knit them back together from the inside out.
The not light
It's
aura
not light.
of Delaran tries to bring him back. It makes his body slightly pulse, but it's not a real pulse, and it's not a breath.
I imagine they go whoop, and they kind of lift off the floor when I do it.
And after his body looks like it takes a big breath, but it doesn't, he goes back to stillness. There's no movement. You can see Adina. She looks up. She has tears streaming down her face.
I put my hand on her shoulder. I'm like, I'm sorry, he's gone.
Where's Merritt?
Doing the thing I asked him to do.
I don't know what to do. What do we do? Can you get... There's no one else here. It's just you guys and Merritt.
What about Lodi?
He's not here.
Am I present with these guys?
There. You, all of you but Merritt.
Okay.
Maybe we should... Do you have a place where you put people that are waiting to be prepared for burial?
She lets out a slight sob.
I'm sorry, but he's gone. I can't bring him back. I doubt Merritt can either.
Maybe we'll just bring him to the Healer's Hall, where someone can prepare his body. He was always the one that did that.
Well, now I'll have to do it for him. I pick up the body. I'm like, bring me to the place.
Well, you know where the Healer's Hall is.
Yeah, but isn't it like a special place where they put dead people? I just put them there with the sick people.
There's no sick people right now.
Okay, well, I bring it to the Hall of Suffering.
You pick his body up, slump him over your shoulder.
I'll hold him like the double front carry. I don't want to do the potato sack carry. I feel like it's less dignified. So.
Over the threshold carry.
Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
Sean.
Eventually have to turn his body to get down the narrow stairways of the Citadel.
Just turn sideways. I mean, I can easily carry him.
You get to the Healer's Hall.
So what happened to him?
I don't know. His eyes are nuked out. Something bad, I'm going to assume.
I found him like this outside of Merritt's room. I don't know.
I don't know. Art, you know more about magic than I do. You know something that would do something like this to somebody? You ever heard about anything or read of anything?
I can't think of anything, but I don't know. Can Art?
Art might have an arcane check to make.
Or
Arcana?
why don't you go ahead and give me a medicine check?
Oh, well.
Medicine.
So you put his body down in the Healer's Hall. There's still a slab that's set up for bodies from when Garavon died.
I slab him.
You're inspecting the body. You're going over the wounds, the burnt marks. It's definitely not natural, because whatever burned the eyes out of the skull, it didn't leave like oozy traces of anything. It's a completely like hollowed and burnt down to the bone. But then it's can't even think of the word. Scabbed over.
Charred?
Charred. On the insides.
Cauterized.
That's probably the word. Cauterized on the inside.
So I put him on the slab. I'm like, poor guy.
Adina did not follow you all the way in. She's sitting in the Healer's Hall, but she's over on a bench somewhere else.
Did I recognize what time? Could we tell what time of day it was? that we just pop back and we see this dead body?
So you popped back into the conference room where you had all the consulars. You're thinking back because everything happened so fast. Like when you got back, when you remember coming back, you were all sitting down at the conference table where all the food had been laid out. There's still a large spread of food. A lot of it's been eaten because of all the people that had attended, but nothing had been put away. Nothing had been cleaned up, and you were all sitting in your chairs, or in chairs, not the same chairs you were sitting in for dinner.
And when we left, we went to a different room to do this, didn't
Nope.
we?
When you left, you did it right in the conference room,
Okay.
and you went through a portal.
Sure,
You
sure,
stepped through
sure.
the door.
Where did everyone go to?
There's not many people left. Everyone's in Linspire. That's where Roan took them to keep them safe.
They should be back tomorrow.
I hope so.
If I look outside, does it look like it's getting to be more towards the nighttime? Or?
Oh yeah, and to answer your question, because you also asked that, when you look out the windows, you can tell that it is dark out. It was dusk when you had dinner. It's completely dark. You can gauge, because you have a high intelligence, it's probably been an hour or two. Maybe it's nearing 11, midnight.
Oh, wow, that late.
I'm gonna mess with our resting cycle.
Adina just sits there with her head in her hands, and her hair is kind of spilling over her hands and falling through the cracks of her fingers.
Adina, where have all the counselors gone to?
They all left.
About how long ago?
She starts brushing her hair back and tying it into a ponytail.
Did you happen to see Chenier leave?
I saw him leave a while ago. Yeah, he came from the conference room.
He didn't say anything to anybody as he left?
Didn't say anything to me. I just saw him walking down the stairs. I saw him turn the corner, but I didn't follow him.
You know what's interesting? Chenier was in Riverstorm when it fell. Chenier was in Oakdale when it fell. Chenier knew that we stepped into this weird dream spot. Didn't tell anybody, just walked out.
He was also in when the bishop was taken away. He was also the last one to show up.
I would like to go talk to him. Do you know where he's staying?
No, I don't know. Maybe he's with all the consulars.
And where is he now?
Thought they were staying in their ship.
And we shall go to their ship?
I need at least an hour to sit down. I'm still hurt.
Are we physically tired? I know we slept in the dream.
You are physically refreshed, but you have spent your spell slots. You have spent your resources.
Okay, but
And
are
your
my
long
hit
rest
points-
is also skewed, where you just took a long rest.
Are our hit points where they were at when we left the dream world?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm not physically refreshed. I feel kind of like a horse.
But when you look down at your body, like the cuts that you took from Luther, the different wounds that were inflicted, they're not there, but you feel the strain in your muscles. You feel the burn. Everything feels like maybe you just had a long hike where your legs are really sore and tired.
a long hike worked 56 hit points worth of hike. That's a fucking hike. So
Because
I'm
you don't
tired.
have any wounds. You don't have any cuts.
I'd like to at least sit down for a second. Maybe take an hour.
I was thinking maybe we should just...
They don't know we're back, right? You're the
Yeah.
only one that knows we're back now.
think so. There's
Don't
a
tell
couple other
anybody.
priests here, but I think they're already in bed.
That's cool. Don't tell anybody that we're back yet. We should take an hour, rest
think-
for a little bit, and then...
I think it might be a good idea to just, even if we aren't tired, just close our eyes, because I would probably want to sleep tomorrow, and I don't want to do that in the middle of the day.
Okay.
I mean, nothing's going on at midnight, I would think.
There's a kitchen here, right? I ask her.
Yeah.
I know how to go to sleep early. To the kitchen.
Want to get some food?
No, not food. I start heading towards the kitchen.
Okay. She does not follow. Do you guys follow him?
I'm curious, so I'll follow.
Yeah, what the hell's Elrond doing?
So you guys head to the kitchen. Merritt. The moment your feet touched the stone, you were sitting in your chair. You can remember that now in the conference room. You cast Dimension Door. And you went 500 feet diagonally down out of the building on the street. When you landed on the cobblestone in the street, you're looking around and you can see all the large torch lamps are lit. It's pretty bright along this main street of the city of Oakdale. And what do? You're looking around, you look up at the citadel. It's about 40 feet in height. You can see the greenhouse on the top.
I'm going to walk around to the back to the small graveyard.
Okay. The small graveyard, huh?
Yep.
Is there a small graveyard?
Yeah, there's a small graveyard.
Is it Garavon's grave?
And it's Garavon's and like 3 founders of the church.
Soon to be Brother Sean.
Yeah, right.
And multiple horses.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a horse graveyard.
The small graveyard is kind of an alleyway between this building and another that you own, and it's mostly been cobblestone. There are some patches of grass here and there, and yeah, there's a couple headstones.
These cobblestones, is it all in good repair or are there some loose ones?
There's some loose ones. They're not all in good repair. It doesn't seem like the Citadel tends to them like they would tend to the inside of the Citadel.
I'm going to go to the one, to a fairly large loose cobblestone that I noticed somewhere along the way, to the, 4 steps west of one particular gravestone.
Okay. Was this somewhere you might have hid something before when you were young?
No, but I've wandered through here enough that I know where to stand and rock on a rock.
Okay.
Like that. And I'm going to pry that rock up, scoop a little bit of dirt out, and reach into my bag and put the invisible tome under there. And then set it back together so that it leaves no trace behind. I wanted to see how close I got to the microphone.
Oh. I didn't even notice.
Nope, I missed.
So you put the tome under and you place the cobblestone back as flush as you can. You use your molder to mold the dirt around the cracks of the stone to keep it solidified and not wobbling or moving.
Well, it's no more or less wobbly than it was. I just had the earth look the same, so it doesn't have any sudden suspicious mounds of earth next to it.
And it is now placed safely, invisibly, forever until it's dispelled. It can't be scryed by any divine sights. It can't be found by any divination spells. And the only one that knows where it is you. Even if Artigan wanted to, because he's the one that cast the spell. What was it called?
Sequester.
Sequester. Even if he wanted to, he can't drop the spell on it.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to dispel it.
And you'd have to know where it is to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You look over and you see the plaque that's been kind of bolted to the side of the citadel. It's Garavon's plaque. You see the cobblestones where they had been laid over his body, freshly laid. It's a little darker in this alleyway. There's no large torch lamps, and the moonlight is out. It's a nice waxing moon today. So there's a good bit of light from the moon.
What's the date at this point? You know that?
I remember we talked about it. Let me pull up my calendar.
I'm just going to get us horribly drunk until we pass out, guys.
We are on the 10th.
It's not magic.
of Anam.
In the kitchen?
So
That's really
almost
I'm sure
the
if
end
there's
of the day,
kitchens,
though,
They have a
right?
wine cellar or something where they keep wine.
Well, technically it would be the 10th at midnight.
Okay, so still the 9th.
Yeah. I'm curious. I'm like, what else would you do to go to bed early?
Almost.
We'll get to you guys.
Okay. Once I do that, I'll walk over to past Garavon's plaque and just kind of run my fingers along it as I walk back in toward.
It has his name etched into it. It's made out of, is it adamantite?
It is.
It will not fade. It won't patina. It won't rust. It's one of the finest metals you can find. It has Garavon's name etched into it. Was there anything else etched in? I know you made it with your father, Artigan.
Mm-hmm.
Did you just etch his name? Did you etch a little saying? Did you etch anything
Which
else?
name did you etch?
Garavayoson.
I probably etched Garavon, and then, let's see. Would be a quote of his that he would have put on there.
Garavon. Yeah.
Garavon.
And then in quotations,
Garavon.
Garavon.
Yeah, so it probably reads Garavon, ha ha ha, Garavon, Vios. Vios sketched on the very bottom.
All right. That's an inside joke.
What the fuck?
It's your own fault.
Yeah, you did it to yourself, dude.
That's what people remember you for.
Garavon.
You run your fingers along the etches in the metal. They're a little sharp, but they don't cut you. And you walk by. Back to the main entrance.
And I will just walk in and make sure I'm not covered in dirt or something that's particularly telling. And go see where
Molders.
everybody else is.
Okay. You know where you left them was upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know where they are right now. You don't hear anything. It's pretty quiet when you get in the citadel. You open these large double doors. These are the arched doorways, correct? And when you get in, you see the large statues of the different priests of Palor or Palor himself. And the door slams. It echoes throughout this chamber. Where do you go?
Dark in here. And
No priest here
Whatever
tonight to light
time-
the lights.
yeah. I'm going to light the equivalent of like the skeleton crew. I'm not going to go through and light everything.
So you'll hit all the sconces
But
on your way.
I'll light a couple spots. But then I'm just going to bed. Something.
Okay. So you don't actually hear them. You don't pass by them. Because you were doing your own thing. When you get up to your room, give me an investigation check.
I have a 16 passive investigation.
Yeah?
Or
That's right, because you're observant.
Mm,
Your 16
Or
actually would have
20.
been enough. But 20 will give you a little more. You can tell that the door is slightly cracked. And where it opens, it looks like it had been pushed really hard or slammed. And there's a crack where the knob is, kind of in the door itself, in the frame. You never lock it, so...
Yeah, it seems so absurd. But I will push the door open, but not enter right away.
You push the door open, and it opens into your dark room, but you can see everything in blacks and whites with your dark vision. You have a little light that's flickering in from the torches that you lit on the way. And in your room, it is ransacked. Everything is turned inside out and upside down. Your mattress is flipped and shredded in the middle. You have all your drawers from your dressers have been pulled out. Any clothing that you had has been spread about. Everything in here has been searched through thoroughly. Your posters have been taken down from the walls.
The boy band poster.
My Hendrix.
And your window is open. You hear it just kind of every once in a while hit against the side of the building.
Tia, can you take a peek out the window?
Yes, Merritt. Is she invisible or visible right now? Is it kind of her choice at this point?
Yeah.
She generally stays invisible unless you ask her to be appearing for anyone else. You can't actually see her. Zips over to the window. And you see the window kind of push open on its own. And you hear her. What am I looking for, Merritt? Anything in particular? It's a beautiful night. What happened here?
It seems somebody...
Doesn't know how to clean up.
Yes, I will have to speak to the maids. And I'll step inside my room and begin cleaning up.
All right. You guys go to the kitchen.
We do. I look for the wine cellar. Or the wine cabinet or whatever the fuck they have.
Do they have a wine cellar? How big does this citadel get? They have a wine cellar.
Oh my god, dude, it just got bigger.
Yeah.
Level up.
So I go into the wine cellar and I come back and I hand you a bottle.
In the wine cellar, there's lots of different wines. There's some real old vintages, though.
Yes, that. We go for the nice, good stuff.
Okay. The old vintage rack is looking rather sparse comparatively to the rest.
One for you.
You take the last one out of that.
One for you. One for me. In descending order. Art can have the best one.
3 bottles.
This is how you go to bed early, guys. Clink, clink, poop.
Art, you get Malumut's Red. It's one of the best wines you've ever tasted. If you've tasted wine, I don't really know.
Probably not a heavy drinker, but I've probably had some. So
Aren't you like 18?
yeah,
Yeah,
Medieval.
you're all underage.
Cooper's 20. I don't know if there is an
I'm
age.
underage.
I think once
I'm old enough.
I think that being adventurous is kind of like being a Marine. Once you're level 15, no one's going to tell you can't drink at the bar.
True.
it's like you can't drink, hold person.
Right.
Okay, now we're gonna continue.
I'm going to go on the back. Anybody else? Fireball, huh? Fireball, motherfuckers! You just get a bottle and do your thing.
How you let them run around in your citadel?
I mean, I say that we should just go back to our room. You can crash with us tonight, but you're getting the floor. I'm not cuddling up. And then in the morning, we sort shit out if we're going to take a rest.
I think I would take this bottle and sit outside to watch the sheep.
Okay, well, there's already one of us to watch the sheep. What sheep?
Delaron.
There's already one of us that's split from the party.
I think
And
he said he's going to watch the sheet.
The sheep?
The sheep. The sheep.
We don't have any sheep. We're in the middle of the city, man.
Well, I mean, when you're sleeping, you have sheets. Maybe Maybe he said wash the sheets.
Okay, listen, anyways. No, you should come with us because if any more of us split off, then someone might die. So why don't you just hang out in our room for the night, or at least we know we're safe, because Magnus is bound to show up at some point if we don't go get contact with him. And at least if he shows up, we can all die in the same place.
Well, I'm going to my museum because it hasn't been 24 hours, even though it feels like it has. Art museum.
So, Art, we shouldn't divide the party. Look, take the conversation I just had with him, play it forward for you as the subject of the conversation. We should stick together. And we don't know when Merritt's coming back. If we're in our room, we can leave the door open, and when he comes into his room, we'll know.
I'm just having a flashback of what happened with where we woke up, and there was a certain someone sitting right there.
What
That could happen. We're going to go to the room.
And we're not going to be sleeping for 24 hours.
Well, we're not going to leave Merritt here all by himself and be in your weird pocket dimension. That wouldn't be right. If he comes back and we're not here, what then?
I
There's
shall
no one
go
to watch out
outside
for
and
him.
watch the sheep.
Don't watch the sheep. Come with us.
I'm going to go to the art museum.
God damn it, you guys. Fine. Fuck the two of you. I leave.
We split the party 4 ways.
I tried, man. I tried.
He's the one that died last time he split up.
Yeah, now he's going to go watch some sheep. I hope those sheep
I'm just
murder
going
you.
to sit outside the Citadel. I'm not going anywhere else.
You know exactly where I'm at.
Step outside the Citadel, and again, it's a beautiful night, a waxing moon. It's pretty large, and it's shedding a good amount of light that even you can see across this city. You can see the ship just fine. You're looking up at the ship. It's like 300 feet up in the air, and it's a pretty giant airship. It can comfortably fit the entire consular. There's at least 7 members here that you know of, but you're pretty familiar with the council itself because of your background and your background with Roan, who is one of the counselors. There's probably a total of 20. They're not all here and they're not always together, but the ship could easily fit all of them. It looks like it has at least maybe 4 different decks, 3 decks. It's larger than the Citadel. I guess that's not hard.
Right. That's a pretty tiny building.
Yeah.
I'm going to burn a second level slot to get back 2 sorcery points while I'm walking.
All right, you don't have to tell me. You just do it.
Okay.
I'll
I do
trust
it.
you using your sorcery points correctly.
Okay. Cool.
And you see a light flickering from one of the windows. Someone's probably still up or reading by candlelight or a torch. Can't really tell from here. And there's a few lights on the deck, too, that are flickering.
That's okay. I'm just going to drink this bottle of wine. I'll probably drink it about halfway until I get bored.
Flicker, 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 flicker.
And
flicker,
then-
flicker, 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 flicker.
Then I'll probably just crash outside the room.
Okay, so
Outside of his room.
you have you have maluments. You have a wine called Sheiks. Are you gonna drink the whole bottle?
No, just about half. Like, I'm just going to sit outside.
For a while. then.
Watch the ship for a little bit, make sure I don't feel like anything funny's going on. And then I'll probably get a little bit tired, and then I will sit outside of his room. I won't go in, but I'm going to sit outside of his room and pass out.
Cool. Artigan, you go to the door that's hidden right now.
Mhm.
It is the portal to your magnificent mansion, which you actually call the art museum.
Mhm.
You make it appear. How do you do that?
I'll wave my hand and it'll appear as my hand goes over my eyes.
It
And
kind of
anybody can go into
fades.
it, right?
Only the people I designate when I cast
Any
the
of
spell.
us.
Uh,
Not him.
I did not designate him,
All right.
unfortunately.
That's fine.
My character didn't trust him at the time. So
Fuck that sheep washer.
The sheep,
That's what I'm saying. The sheep.
he's as white as a sheet or a sheep.
yeah, I'm gonna go in the art museum and I'm gonna read the tome of was it charisma leadership? Is it
Tome of Charm.
tome of charm?
Tome of Leadership would have been good too. Maybe next time.
Are they different?
No, I'm just There'll be a good name for it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's actually the
I
name
think
that
that's what
came
it's
up for the
called,
charisma
yeah.
one. Yeah.
Total leadership.
I made them up because I didn't remember.
Oh, okay.
So you start reading it, and you actually got the metal panel, I think.
The what?
Metal panel.
The
It
metal
kind of
panel?
looks like a somewhat rectangle, rounded at the edges, and it's a sheet of metal. It is the
Let's wait
tome,
for now.
but it's not parchment, it's not a scroll, it's not a book.
Hmm.
And it has a bunch of different runes that are etched into it. And as you read through these runes, they're etched in as Elven for you. But you can read them.
Mm-hmm.
Once you finish reading them, it runs out of words, you flip it over, and there's more etching on the other side, which shouldn't happen because the etching's like inward etched into it, and it should show on the other side because it's very thin, but it doesn't. When you flip it over again, it's all etched into it pretty deep. And you continue reading. Every time you finish the page, you flip it over and you continue reading. And you can do that for however long you want before you go to bed. You have to spend 48 hours of reading time before it takes effect.
I'll probably get a good 7 in and maybe take like an hour nap to try to reset my schedule.
You're going to your room. When you head up to your room, you see that Merritt's door is open.
Oh, I've been drinking, by the way. I've got my shield down and lit because it's probably dark in here. If there's sconces lit, I'll put it away. But with my other hand, I am going at it with this bottle of wine.
The Hardy Hamlet.
I don't even read it.
Well, you drink it.
Mm-hmm.
It is still one of the good wines. It's not the best one that you could find, or it's not the oldest one at least. You have no
Right.
idea what's best or what's not.
Oh.
Tastes fine to you.
Sure.
Probably tastes better than the ale you're used to.
I'm sure. It's guaranteed.
And how much of the bottle have you drank?
Half.
I mean, you're buzzed.
Three quarters,
You're
maybe.
feeling good. Probably won't get you completely tossed by drinking the bottle. You're a pretty hardy fellow.
I mean, I have a constitution of only 14. So you might
You're a
wanna
somewhat
roll.
hardy fellow. You,
Right.
you might need to roll a die.
Mhm.
Give me a roll.
Okay. 14 plus 2. 16.
Yeah, you're fine. You're
Okay.
buzzed.
I drank the bottle.
And you see Merritt's door open. Your passive perception is 10 right now, since you're a little buzzed, but
Oh, okay.
you just hear noises from inside. Can't really tell what's going on. When you get to the door, you look in and you see that he is right now pushing a drawer back into his dresser.
Man, what'd you do to your room?
It would appear that one of the maids has become displeased with me.
I'll walk in and put your mattress, what's left of it, back on the frame and try to stuff shit from the floor back into the mattress where it's torn open.
That's not mattress stuffing. That's my shirts.
Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna need to fix those. I think it's safe to say that whoever was allied against us was here tonight.
I know, they found Sean.
He says with a full mouth of whatever he grabbed from the
Yeah.
A
kitchen.
muffin or some shit, I don't know. A scone.
Because
I
he's
know.
always eating.
Sean
I
saw
know they were
something?
here. They found, well, yeah.
Oh, interesting. What did he say?
Mm-mm. I don't look at you. I'm like, mm-mm. I pick some shit up and I put it up on its legs.
You don't need an insight for that. That's
And how
weird.
do you...
Delaran usually says what's on his mind.
Yeah, wait, what? Is he hurt? Is he dead? Those are two questions.
Yes, he was hurt and he is dead.
Where is he?
Come on,
What
I'll
do we-
take you. I go down. I tried to bring him back, but
Tia.
it didn't work.
Yes, Merritt. You hear her. She's verbally talking.
Keep an eye on out the window.
Before we leave, I poke my head into my room. Is my room ransacked?
Nope.
Oh, that's good. All right.
So that somebody.
So your room is pretty barren compared to Merritt's.
I mean, it's got mattresses and bed frames that could be
Yeah.
torn open or turned
Yeah.
over.
Which potentially means that somebody was watching the handoff, even.
The handoff to you?
Mm-hmm.
It happened in another dimension.
I'm just saying. But yeah, so I want Tia to keep looking out my window.
No.
And I'll telepathically say, keep an eye on the graveyard.
Yes, Merritt.
Which I imagine you can see from up there, which is why I wanted to hide it back there.
So your room would be looking over the alleyway, over the other buildings,
I mean, he can totally look around the corner.
Yeah,
Go away.
and it's kind of...
the eastern side. You're
Sure.
on the eastern side of the building.
That makes sense. The sun rises. Listen, I tried to bring it back. Didn't work.
Luck?
Mm-mm.
Do you have the diamonds? Do you have those with you?
I mean, I figured that we'd probably split them up since we both can do it.
Cool.
I'm just counting them as
Yeah.
components now,
Yeah.
not diamonds.
Yeah, please show me him. Where are the others? We have. My room's been ransacked. The counselors are missing.
I don't know. Raphael's out looking at sheep. Then Art went to the art museum.
God damn it.
I tried to keep them together. They wouldn't listen to me. I'm not as effective as you are at this stuff.
What a strange night.
Yeah, you can say that again.
Was Sean alone? Was there anyone else?
Your scribe ran into him. That's how we found him, as she started screaming and I showed up. I hit the ground as soon as I could and pumped him full of juice, but I think he was gone too long.
Yeah, please show me. And if Anita's here too, that'd be great. I didn't see anybody when I got back.
The guys wanted to go to sleep early, so I have the wine cellar.
Ah,
I hand you, if there's something a little bit left, I hand it to you.
take a quick swig and then hand it back to you.
Okay.
And I'm hurrying.
It's one of the good vintages.
Yeah, I don't care.
One of the ones people don't break in too much.
Sean's dead.
Right.
So
Cheers. You know what I mean? So I lead you into the Hall of Suffering.
Head down to the Healer's Hall, and the doors are open. The large double doors into this hall. You see Adina sitting there with her head kind of hanging, but when you walk in, she looks up. Mira, I couldn't save him. I tried.
What happened? Where was he found?
Outside
Outside
of your
your
room.
room. Yeah.
Outside of my room. Did you happen to look into the room when you were there?
No.
He must have interrupted whoever it was.
The window was open and the entire room was tossed and shredded.
I bet you stumbled into it.
It would seem likely. Check your notes. See if you can identify anything that would have the capability of burning out eyes and shredding rooms. I'm assuming that we're dealing with a person, but I don't know.
Okay.
And I want to come over and...
She's still sitting. She's moving more lethargically than normal. Somewhat of in a shock, you can just kind of tell. She's kind of flipping through pages of her journal.
I look at you, and I'm like,
But she's mostly mindlessly flipping each page.
I'm like, listen, you should get some sleep. You're not good like this. It's late. You've been through a lot. Go rest. We can look in the morning. I say to you, we can look in the morning.
Lock your windows, though. Or if
In
there are a
fact-
few of us, I would recommend.
Maybe you guys should double up for safety's sake. Crash in the same place. That way, if something happens, one of you can alert the other one if they happen to awake in the middle of the night.
We'll need to see who is actually here. How many people are left at the Citadel?
I'm telling you, Raphael's looking at sheep. He's a weird guy. Art's in the museum. Hey, why don't we all go? Oh, she probably can't go into the museum. Yeah, we should stay together. Why don't you guys crash? I'll sit outside the door and stand watch. Sorry, I just punched the mic. Sorry, folks.
So I'm sure. Who else is still here that didn't go to Linspire? There's got to be other.
There's Brother Sean, and there's a few other priests. Marcus is still here.
Wait, what about, what's his face? Brother Emil?
Father?
Or Father Emil?
Linspire.
I think he went to
That's good.
Linspire.
Good. I'm glad.
I don't remember. I think Darnell is still here. Or Idris, I'm not sure which.
While she's talking, I'm like checking Sean's pulse and
Definitely no
looking to
pulse.
see if there's anything. Is there any wound beyond the eye socket? What?
I think that's sufficient.
Well,
I'm not a doctor.
That's unusual. I've
I've killed a lot of
very
things.
very unusual. I don't know how you could only damage.
It's
the
magic.
eyes.
It's obviously magic.
Of course, it's magic.
As you're moving through, looking at all the, lift up the sleeves, looking at the arms, you lift up the robes to make sure the legs are okay.
I was like, don't do that.
Be an adult.
I can't. It's D&D. What the fuck do you want from me? We're playing a game. Here, coffee me somebody.
Oh my dear God.
For the love of everything holy.
So while I'm checking over, and
There you go.
Awesome. I win.
I'm going to take both of his hands, and much like I can cast Spare the Dying, or when I focus the energy further, I can cast Revivify. I'm going to focus still further and cast Raise Dead.
Holy shit. What?
Which is a level 6 spell, my final level 6 spell.
Whoa.
And I will see what happens.
What are the material components?
It's 500 gold worth of diamonds.
What's Revivify?
300 gold worth of diamonds.
Okay, it's just a little bit more expensive. That's awesome.
It's a little more expensive, and it's something like 200 years or 10 years or I don't know. Long enough that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter anymore.
You didn't bring back Garavon, but you bring back Brother Sean?
I didn't have it at that point.
Okay.
You could bring Garavon back now.
That was when I discovered
He doesn't want to come.
that I needed.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
man.
You don't
That
know
was
that.
when I discovered I needed to focus that energy further.
All right.
Got it. 10 days.
He's making zombies.
What's 10 days? I missed something.
That's has been dead no longer than 10 days.
You can go back 10 days to bring him back.
So he returns above. The creature soul is willing and at liberty to rejoin the body. The creature returns to life with 1 hit point. Spell neutralizes any poison and cures non-magical diseases.
Worse.
This spell doesn't,
the worst
however,
part.
remove magical diseases. What's that?
Here's the worst part. The spell closes all mortal wounds, but it doesn't restore missing body parts.
Oh, no!
No, he's blind.
Fuck, he's going to have weird no-eye things.
Yeah, we'll get him a bandage.
It's awesome.
He's gonna
dude.
be alive.
Dude, he's gonna have like.
He's gonna be a blind monk.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Merritt,
We kept you alive with no leg.
when you
Yeah, it was
finish
fucking-
casting this
yeah.
spell, what happens?
Well, I'm holding both of his hands, and just the heat from my body goes into them, like the hands no longer feel cold, and then you can feel on his arm, his shoulder, and eventually you just see his chest rise and fall with like a bit of a cough.
Almost
And so
heave.
there's no flashy
There's no
like
light.
burst of light or anything like that. It's just channeling warmth from somewhere else and putting it back into his body.
The one thing that you notice, I think you're the only one there, is that all of Merritt's tattoos seem a little brighter, a little more yellow. All the lined tattoos and dots that you have done throughout your face, all the different tribal pattern work.
So I never asked, where'd you get the tattoos?
Right.
I like that that's your question as the body
Yeah.
goes...
Focusing.
I mean, we do amazing things. I'm just like,
You hear a
You're
spat like...
wait, your face is painted.
Yeah. I never noticed. Maybe I should get glasses.
Yeah. I'll work on bringing your eyesight back right after I get his handled.
Right, yeah.
And Sean, brother Sean, comes back with a cough, like a retching cough. There's not actually vomiting. It's like as if he was drowning, as if water's spewing out, but there's nothing coming out. It's just a dry. He'd be like,
How many hit points does he come back with?
1.
I'll heal him.
Peace, brother. Take your time. Take your time.
I done
Relax.
15 hit points and do it to make him feel better about life.
Relax. Wait.
15 hit points,
Slowly,
go.
Slowly. Okay.
where am I?
In the healer's hall,
His voice is very hoarse.
you sustained great injury to your eyes.
He's like lifting up his hands. to
No,
feel.
don't do that. I push his hand down.
You
Grab his hand.
know better than to touch fresh wounds, sir. Please be patient.
So is his eye just like smoothed over meat, or is it like the hole?
So his eyes are hollowed a little, and the flesh is not smooth. It's kind of corrugated in different patterns.
But is it like
bumpy.
healed?
Healed?
Let me help you with that. I'll tear a piece of fabric from whatever. I have a shirt, and I'll tie it around his face.
What
Yes.
happened?
We're not sure. You were found upstairs, just outside my room.
Some kind of boogeyman burned your eyes out and killed you.
That same room was tossed, shredded, windows kicked open.
Before it burned out your eyes, did you get a look at what did it to you?
I like how you gave this guy time to adjust.
I know I gave him 15 hit points. Fuck it, we're moving
was like-
on.
I was trying to go slow. He's the one who gave the what?
There
what
might be a
happened.
demon in the room, besides our friendly demon. Oh,
I saw something in there. It was really dark, though. I didn't quite see it. I could see someone's silhouette through the window. I didn't get a good look at their face.
It was a
I
them?
think they were a human or a person standing up. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You did good, Sean. I'm glad you're back with us.
What happened to my eyes?
Well, they were burned out of your head. But hey, I lost 3 legs and mine grew back, so we'll figure something out for you. Don't worry. It might just take us a little while, but we will find a way to put those peepers back in your face. I'm still a little buzzed.
I'm so glad I went to the museum.
We will get you sorted, friend. I clap him on the chest.
Is Paylor back? Did you bring me back?
Merritt brought you back.
He's talking to Merritt.
Yeah, I just step in.
I'm not sure
like,
how to answer that.
I'm like,
And so-
Merritt brought you back.
Does that mean Paylor's back?
Nope.
We hope so. You can rest. It's
I
okay.
can't even.
Don't touch those.
It's gonna feel
Unless you
weird.
push his arm away. He
I do.
Tries. He pushes
I'm like,
him.
no, don't touch those.
I don't
We'll
feel
need
any tears.
Listen, take it from a guy that's had his legs cut off multiple times. You don't want to fuck with it, even if it's healed. It's just weird and not good. It's going to make you feel bad inside. Come on, let me walk you to your room. I stand him up. We'll swing by the kitchen, I say to him.
I just imagine Delaran taking a fan and putting it on his head, so like a cone, so he doesn't
touch it.
I forget, did you send Adina to bed? Or is she still
No,
there?
she's still there. I said you and her should pony up together.
Oh,
I
yeah, now
think she
remember.
was just gonna go to bed unless you.
Well, you should
decided
go with
on
her to
that
watch
plan.
look after her.
Did you decide on that plan?
No. I had other,
I'm
I
like-
was other things scheming.
Do you want her to run into
You-
Captain Burn Your Eyes Out?
We're scheming, and she kind of just wandered
Jesus.
off to her room during the whole thing. She wasn't there present when this miracle was performed.
Listen,
Good.
you better go check on your favorite scribe before she runs into somebody in the hallway that she doesn't get a good look at. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to
Bridget.
shack up, just sit outside of her room.
You should go and bring her back down here. Get everyone to come down. We're all going to sleep in the healer's hall tonight.
Okay, well, I'll leave Sean with you then. I'll go get her. You sure you don't want to get her?
No, this should be fine.
I kind of remember someone saying something.
Saying what?
It wasn't real words or not any languages that I know.
I'll speak in Celestial. Does it sound like this? Blah, 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 blah.
No.
Now it's your turn. Did it sound like... I point at Merritt.
And I go through the... what is it? There's Infernal,
Yep.
Celestial, and Draconic are the...
Oh, you speak Celestial? Nice.
Yeah, so when you say it in Celestial, I repeat that, but in Infernal and Draconic. Either those forms sound familiar.
Maybe it sounded something like that first one.
Celestial.
No,
Yeah,
you
the
spoke
first one.
celestial.
Oh,
You
Infernal?
repeated
Infernal.
what you said.
Gotta roll and. I'm sorry, I can barely talk.
No, take your time.
I'm gonna do the Paladin Sense Evil thing. Do I get any fiends, undead, fae, or celestials besides Merit in the building?
60 feet.
Okay.
No,
Alright.
60 feet.
I go to what's
Pretty limiting.
It's 6 stories up. That's the building. The building's not that big.
You've clarified that.
60 feet will get the building.
Most of it, not all of it.
Whatever. So I don't find any way in 60 feet.
You don't even see Tia?
The
We've established
I probably-
that
lower
it's
floor is
bigger
probably.
Citadel.
This room's bigger than 60
It's growing
feet
again.
around.
Okay, it's growing again.
This is the healer's hall. It's one of the
Whatever.
biggest rooms in the
I
building.
go find the scribe.
Jesus. So you're gonna go find Adina.
Yeah.
And yeah, as you were doing that, I was saying that everyone should sleep in the healer's hall tonight.
Okay, I'll get everyone.
Gather everyone that you can find.
Okay, I'll go find her.
Okay.
And then I'll
So you go
enlist her
find
help
her.
to go find everyone else. On the way there, I go by the kitchen.
More wine?
I get 2 more bottles. Fuck it, I get 3 bottles.
I mean, there's 4 if you want it.
Okay. I have one in my hand and I put 3 in the bag of holding.
Okay. Thump, thump, thump.
One of them's for the scribe, though. She obviously saw some bad shit.
Merritt,
Yes, brother.
are you? You're not able to restore sight, are you? Since Glory lost her sight, it doesn't seem like something you can do.
It is a task that I am still seeking to master.
How am I going to perform my duties?
Your duty. This citadel owes you a great deal. You could spend 100 years here, and we would take care of you.
No, I don't want that. I don't want to be helpless.
You're not helpless. You will continue many of your functions here, particularly in teaching. However, sending you up and down the stairs now seems haphazard. So, for now, particularly...
Did Gloria leave Nara here?
I assumed she took Nara, but between Nara and is also Justice, who is young enough that he could still be trained as well.
Sed's got Justice.
Okay. But yes, Nara is... I have no idea. Did you go to Linspire, or is still here?
You don't remember her in the council rooms. You don't remember her in the Tower of the Gods.
Just shitting all over the floor. Someone forgot
up
about
in the
her for like a
room.
day.
Yeah, right.
It's like, oh no.
Got into the garbage, no!
she's the one that was in my room.
Yeah, that's great. That was all Nara.
Just bored.
And at the end, she jump out the window?
Mm-hmm.
Gotta go
That's
get
how
out
bored she
somehow.
was.
Yeah, right.
Better go kill myself.
What? I like
Okay.
how that train of thought just descends into chaos so fast.
Yeah.
All over the place. Yeah.
He tries to speak more. And it's more and more and more hoarse every time he's talking. I'm really sorry.
You've done nothing wrong. I'm going to find a way to either restore what was taken from you or to help you adjust to the new adventure of your life.
And with
Cooper's
that,
plan is to
he'll
get his eyes back.
pretty much keep quiet at that point.
Just rest. I'm sure that you've traveled further today than you ever have in your life. It is expected that you should feel tired. Rest.
I got the scribe.
You don't go very far.
Okay.
She hasn't gotten very far. She's walking slowly up the stairs.
Hey, I need your help. And I brought something for you.
She turns around.
So I used to be a soldier, and after a long engagement, or after a traumatic brush with the enemy, or when you lost something, we would always drink. And so today, you behaved better than most of the men that I served next to in the face of some horrible shit. So this is for you.
She doesn't go to grab it.
You should drink that. It'll make you feel better. And I need your help. Merritt wants me to get everybody together into the healer's hall, but I don't know where everybody's rooms are, and you do. So,
Give me an insight check.
okay.
It's not her.
Yeah, right? My eyes! My eyes!
I hate you guys so much. Like, how do you keep a straight face with this asshole party?
You know, that's it.
We're in prime condition.
I rolled an
today,
8.
guys.
Fuck, I'm bad.
Okay.
I don't. Cooper's not in touch with his emotions, so he's
No,
not in
you're
touch with anybody else's.
And that's probably very true. You tried to give her the wine. I can't.
Why can't you?
I don't drink.
At all?
No.
For the love of the gods, why?
Her face definitely turns sour, and she's like, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Bottle back in the bag. Poop. More for me. I take another swig.
What did you want help with?
I need your help finding where everybody in the Citadel that's still here is, because we have to get them all together in the healer's hall. And I don't know where everybody's rooms are. I never bothered to learn, but I know you know. So come on. I need your help to do this. And then we're going to reconvene with Merritt in the healer's hall.
Fine. Is that what he wanted?
He wanted me to get you and then get everybody else.
Okay, then. So you two will bound around the Citadel, gathering up the people. We're not going to roleplay it. You do it.
All right.
Doesn't take that long. Raphael, you eventually walk in.
Stop watching the sheep.
Your bottle's halfway gone, but you're very hardy. You have a pretty high constitution, from what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And half a bottle gets you barely buzzed. A full bottle will get you feeling good.
I'll pass you another one as I walk by you.
I'll grab it. Maybe for later.
There might not be later. I keep drinking the bottle that I'm on.
You are so dramatic, Delaware Kubel.
I just say what I think. Unlike the rest of the people in the world.
What is going on here?
We're all going to get together in the healer's hall for safety's sake.
What has happened?
Oh, well, Sean came back to life, and we found out that he caught somebody in Merritt's room that was possibly speaking Infernal, who then burned out his eyes and killed him. He came back without his eyes, unfortunately, but so that no one else runs into our mystery caller, we're just going to hang out here.
I shall sit outside the doors.
Sure.
Of the healer's hall?
Mm-hmm.
Is there more than one way in?
There's a giant stained glass window.
There's
other little windows throughout the hall.
I'll go over and I'll keep an eye on the stained glass window.
I hand you half the bottle and the other bottle because I'm going to try to keep a clear head.
The hall was
Whatever.
made pretty large,
I drink
and
deeply.
it has pillars every 20 or so feet, columns that go from floor to ceiling. Intricately designed. And the windows have all been built very high up, and they definitely let the sun in at most times of the day. And the entire hall takes up one entire part of the building. It's not a wing because it's just that northern end of the building. The stained glass window faces north, towards the Tower of the Gods. And then you go get Adina. And you go do all your stuff.
Okay.
You go to the healer's hall to sit outside the doors, but the doors are open. Do you go in?
Nope, I'll be in the doorway, blocking it.
When you get to the doorway, you see Merritt there doing something? Nothing?
Just kind of sitting, holding Sean's hand.
I hear a miracle has taken place.
That's a weird title to put on it, I suppose. But we can be glad that we have lost Sean.
I'm glad you are safe, Sean.
Thank you. Sorry, my voice hurts a lot.
Please save it for me.
So as people come in, particularly if there's any other priests or anything like that, ask them to make rounds, make sure that everyone's down there.
Everyone's accounted for. Everyone's got their buddy.
The dogs, if any of the kids are here, make sure that everyone's accounted for. I don't want to accidentally leave someone up in a room somewhere.
Okay, so you gather everyone.
And I've got Tia just watching over out the window.
Okay,
Making
so
sure.
not everyone at the Citadel actually lives here.
Mhm.
A lot of people come to serve throughout the day or come to school throughout the day.
Mhm.
But I don't remember her name. Your little drow friend,
Andromeda.
Andromeda. She is led in by Adina.
Oh, she's still here?
She's still here. She was spending the night with some of the priestesses or the scribes, whatever they are. Darnell is here. There's a brother Marcus. There's some other priests. In total, that live in the building, you have like 5 other people.
Well, it's late. It's midnight-ish, so I don't want to keep anyone up. But I just wanted to make sure that everyone
Andy
here,
brings her puppy,
of course.
and when Nara bounds in the room, little Nara, she's growing fast. She's not a puppy anymore, but she still is. She still bounds around like a puppy, and as she hits one part of the ground, it's too slick, and she slips, like splays all her feet outward, and then gets back up, and they start playing together, the puppies.
Okay.
And Andy was watching the puppy.
Okay.
Was not tearing up the rooms or shitting all over the beds.
Good.
Good job, Andy.
Yeah. Yeah, because so those two, the two dogs can kind of entertain each other. Yeah, and I'll try to get Andy to go
She
back to
walks
sleep.
in very sleepy,
Yeah.
tired, and she's holding the hand of Darnella.
Yeah. Yeah, just kind of rub her head real quick. And go back to bed.
You gather everyone, and then the only people you didn't gather, I guess, are the people that live in different buildings.
And that's fine. I can't pull everyone in the planet into one room so I could watch over them. I have to leave some things to chance.
Okay. And that's where everyone will stay the night.
I'll sit near the window for 4 hours. I'm going to read the Manual of Bodily Health. Whatever
You
it's
guys
called.
forgot Art again, though.
I mean, whatever. He's in the art hall. No one can get in there. He's safe.
You could get in there.
Yeah, but I'm saying no one can get in there to get to him. So he's safe where he's at.
So you're reading just 48 hours, guys. Mark off the time you're actually reading your book,
Okay, 4 hours.
because you will have to keep track of it. Are you reading your book?
Yeah, I'll sit and read.
Okay. You had the scroll, Raphael.
Mm-hmm.
And as you unroll the scroll and start reading, the top kind of rolls, folds up into itself, and the bottom continues to unroll continuously. It almost as if it never stops unfurling.
Crazy.
How many hours are you putting in?
4 hours or whatever.
I'll write it down.
D6 it.
D6 it?
You don't have to D6 it. Just choose how long you're going to read the damn book.
I'll just, next time I'll D6 it.
One every time, never finish this book.
Right.
Yes.
No.
And you continue to read your book for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Darren.
I read for 4 hours.
The priests set up cots, and they make the room warm and welcome for everyone. They light lights in the very back of the hall as to not interfere with people's sleep, but to give a good ambience throughout the room and safety. You're all together. Most people are sleeping, but you guys had just taken a long rest and slept.
Mm-hmm.
So you're feeling wide awake, especially after all that's happened.
Yeah.
Is there anything in particular that you want to do before I pass time?
I mean, I read for 4 hours
Yep, we decided that.
Mm-hmm.
before I take a nap for probably like 4 hours.
Yeah, and I'm going to.
We got our long rest, so
I'll do things like
that.
kind
We
of
don't
walk
have
the
a long
perimeter
We're not gonna.
and not explore the citadel or anything, but the hallways just outside. Anything
Raphael
like
is
that.
standing guard or sitting guard outside the doors.
Mhm.
You pass by him a few times.
I'm over by the large stained glass window 'cause it's another easy point of entry.
I will occasionally check in with Tia and see if there's any stirring or movement back in the alley. And
So you're like, no, Merritt, it's very clear. No one's come through. Just a couple dogs. One of them peed on the building. I wasn't very happy about that. But I've been
well, it's
keeping
because
watch.
you're the only one that either of us know that doesn't pee.
Yeah.
She's gonna go with that. Yeah.
Dog probably had to cover up the spot where some renegade teenage tiefling used to pee on the wall. No big deal.
You do your rounds.
Yeah. As I'm walking, I will probably head up to my room and clean up a little bit more.
Okay.
Relatch everything together that's been, taken apart.
Is Sean sleeping?
He goes to bed.
All right.
Can't tell.
That's fucked.
Asshole. All right. Then we're going to pass some time. 4 hours pass. You read that much in your book, each of you. 8 hours pass. It's approximately morning time now. 7 or 8 in the morning, so most people are already up. Did you want them to stay in the hall, or did you want them to perform their daily duties?
No, this isn't a prison term by any stretch. I just wanted to, while everything was so unsettled, I just didn't want anybody, alone in a room overnight. But when the sun returns, all is well again.
So people will start going back to their duties. Darnella will attend to the classes for the children and all the children that come to the Citadel during the day.
Mm-hmm.
The street lamps have all been snuffed outside. The moon has gone down and the sun is starting to crest the horizon. It's a beautiful clear morning. There's no cloud cover. And you haven't seen snow in quite a while. Most of the snow has melted in the cracks of the cobblestone. There's no packed snow anymore. Some of the rooftops have been cleared off. Icicles have fallen. It's starting to look somewhat springish. A new season.
I'll go sit next to Adina. She's awake.
She is awake and looks much better, more rested.
Trust you slept well.
As well as I could.
Fair enough. Understandable. After breakfast, I would like you to bring some pen and paper. I have some ideas for some letters that I would like sent out. Hoping you could assist me with that.
Yes.
No rush. We all had a bit of a scare last night, and so I understand that things will be progressing more slowly this morning.
Thank you for coming back and getting everything in order. It's better that you took care of it and not Delarin. You're a good leader.
And I'll say, so is he. Or I'm going to say it infernal. In infernal.
Marin? You okay?
Just checking.
She looks a little worried.
Oh no, just checking.
I'm not explaining why.
Yeah, right.
And you go about your duties.
So I've taken a nap. Have you taken a nap?
Yeah, I probably would
Doing
definitely
good.
take a nap.
Salting that poor phone.
Oh, this was a long time ago. I'm just making it worse.
Just
So usually in the morning I work out and go through some exercises. I was wondering if maybe you'd want to join me for a light sparring match or something.
Absolutely.
All right.
They wander off and spar.
Mm.
Artigan, you get your full 7 hours of reading. You can mark it down out of the 48.
Okay.
And you can choose to leave. You can stay. It's about to run out soon.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's gonna wear off eventually here. Yeah, I'll leave, and I will... Actually, I'll go out into the forest and see if I can find another large rock.
I love
Yes.
These
But you have
boots
to
were
make
made
it...
for walking.
I'll make
That's
it off
just what
a
I
ways
would do.
because I don't have levitate today.
One day
Oh.
these boots are
So,
now
I'm gonna have to make it and move it
for
later.
you.
But
So you're going to make part of the leg. So far, what you've made is 2 boots, which are about 5 feet around and high. They're pretty large boots. And a calf.
oh, was it just a calf?
Yep.
Okay.
You can do that again if you want to make the other calf. Just keep working your way up.
I'll make a piece of the torso this time.
All right.
And
You
it'll
get like
be-
a ringlet of torso. It's a weird ringlet of stone.
It's just a belly button.
Pretty much.
Do I need to roll on how bad I make it?
Um.
I'm trying to make
Yes,
it...
with disadvantage because you have nothing to attach it to, and you have no dimensions, no anatomy to look
You're
at.
eyeballing it.
I'll use 1 luck. And what is it? What kind of a check?
We're gonna use your
Medicine.
proficiency
Your medicine.
and performance.
Oh, it's a performance?
Matt,
That would be a 22.
22.
That's a hot belly button.
You do a very good job. But now it's just like this weird, like round, flat stone in the middle of the forest. And if you're looking at the top of it, it's really smooth because eventually it's going to attach to another piece of stone to meld together.
I'm trying to remember what outfit Garavon had on when he died. I'm making around that.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure he had
Shadow
like
armor.
his...
The shadow armor.
Yeah, he had the shadow armor, which is leather.
Yep. Shadow armor.
Actually, if we're gonna spar, I want to see if we can go down to the gate and spar with some of the soldiers that are training. Maybe we could help them be better at what they do.
Okie dokie.
So that's what we're gonna go do.
Okay, so you guys go find the soldiers to spar with.
Yeah.
And that'll be your morning.
Yep.
You'll make a stone. That'll be your morning. Merritt will do his duties.
I'll help take care of the mass of people that are here this morning until Adina tells me that she's ready.
Okay. So that's what you do. We'll pass some time. Morning will pass. And we'll go to around noon. 1 o'clock. You get a message, Merritt. You're doing your duties. You're walking around the citadel. And it's Lodi's voice. Merritt, is it safe to come back yet? We're still waiting in Windspire.
It is relatively safe at the moment. We look forward to seeing you all again.
Okay. That'll be the end of the message.
And I will walk over to that room, to the circle of teleportation.
Okay.
And kind of tidy things up there, assuming that we're going to get a small burst of folks. Sure, it's lit and whatnot.
What are you doing over there, Alex?
I'd say because it was 8 hours total, I would have gotten a short rest. I'm just using hit die.
Oh yeah.
You don't have to. Oh, because you didn't get a long
Short
rest.
Yep.
rest. That's
Exactly.
A good idea.
So you all get your short rest if you want to use that now.
Yes.
While they're healing up, you can also heal up if you need to. I don't know if you need to.
No.
You're in the room tidying up when people start coming through. And they all appear at once. It is Roan Maritime, Lodi, Gloriosa, Father Amiel, Amiradel, and 2 scribes.
Who is it? Lodi, Father, Ramiel.
It's everyone.
It's Roan, Lodi, Gloriosa, Ramiel, Amiradel, Scribe 1, Scribe 2.
Idris is one of them. It's
Oh,
Glory's scribe.
Rome came back, huh?
And one of Amiradel's scribes. Amiradel is your new ambassador from Sharanor. And everyone's excited to be back. Glory walks over and gives you a hug.
It's good to see you again, Mother.
I'm sorry, I can't help myself, and I know that I probably shouldn't hug you in front of everyone, but
I suppose I will forgive it.
she smiles.
Yeah.
Idris walks with her because she's always attending to her since Glory can't see.
We have had more than a few developments. I would love to speak with you all as soon as possible.
Well, we can do it here if you want. Before we leave.
Yes, I suppose so. So, what we need each of you to understand and deal with as you see fit. And there's that hesitation where Merritt has to decide what portions to say out loud and what not. And I'll turn to Amiradel and say, I can't remember her name all of a sudden.
Who are you talking about?
The girl we brought back from the dream.
Oh, Alandra
Yeah.
Lenore.
So, I'll say, Council Member Alandra Venor. I believe we have found her, and she should be recovering in
Amiradel
Sharanor.
actually kind of sits up, stands upright more, and looks at you. What do you mean you found her?
It is one of the many complicated things that have happened in the past 24 hours. I will speak more specifically later. For now, I would hope that you reach out to the other members of your city and see if she is doing well. And then I will turn also to Ramiel and Gloriosa and say that after the Temple of the Gods was visited upon by outsiders, I called everyone back to the Citadel, and we had a fairly large crowd here. And somewhere during that process of having everyone here, it would appear that someone broke into my room and tore into the place looking for something, which the details of which are not super important. We just know that somebody in the city apparently is allied against us and believes that I am hiding something in my room that could be of value.
Amiradel will look at you. With your permission, I would like to post my guards at each entrance and maybe recruit some reinforcements for the day, maybe for the week.
Indeed, anything that would make you feel more comfortable while you're here. While you're here.
Us. I want to protect you. She looks at one of her scribes, well, her only scribe that's with her, and they walk off.
Do it, Theon.
And you go through kind of all the events that have happened.
And then I won't really go through all the events. The
Go
only other
through
thing that I
whatever
would
you-
say is that Sean is currently wounded, recovering in the healer's hall. that it would appear his eyes are indefinitely lost to him. Not permanently, but indefinitely.
Cool. So you go through all that, you kind of catch them up on those certain things, but people will go back to their duties for the day.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to go through all of it because
Yeah.
we could be here for another 2 hours role playing these things.
Yeah, I'm trying to speed it up.
While
I'm
I'm
gonna-
sparring with the guys that are at the gate, the soldiers or whatever that work for the city, I'm going to try to suss out who they think is a good candidate to put in charge.
Oh, you want to approach that aspect? Well, we will do that part.
You could just tell me. Or you could make me do it.
You're with Raphael.
Yeah.
We're going to make you do it.
All right.
So you are going to find the leader.
Well, I'm just going to start sparring with whatever soldiers are willing to spar and ask them about what they've heard, because soldiers, hear rumors and shit. Talk.
So the town guard.
Yeah, the town guard.
Your particular perk of soldier is different.
It is different.
You can get away with petty crimes.
Yep.
But your particular perk of being a soldier doesn't give you the normal benefits that a soldier gets.
Nope.
Because people look at you somewhat disdainful.
But these guys know me. I sent some
Somewhat?
soldiers to work at the gate or whatever. I'll go look for the guys that we brought from Oakdale.
There you go.
I'll look for those guys.
Okay. So, I believe there were 2 of the soldiers,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm remembering correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there were more than 2. I think there were a couple. There were like 2 for sure that we were talking to that had names, and there were some red shirts that came through the gate too, and some of them decided to sign on with the gate, some of them didn't.
Okay. So there was Carter.
Mm-hmm. Because weren't there like 6 or something? that
Yeah,
came
but
through
some
the
of them went
teleportation
back
system?
to their homes.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And then there was Perez.
Mhm.
Carter and Perez. Let me write some stuff down before I forget. Because I know I will. Perfect. You go to find the guards. It's not hard to find them. They're on duty. And these 2 have been tasked to one of the worst jobs in the city,
Oh, lame.
which is making sure that all the muck is cleaned up from one of the worst alleyways in the city. They're not in the shanties, though.
That's shitty.
No one really patrols the shanties. They're a lot less regulated outside of the walls.
I'll help him clean the muck while we're talking.
So you're with Carter and Perez and Raphael.
Hey guys, so sparring's on hold for a second. Give me a minute. So
They're scooping up stuff with their buckets and their paddles.
I'll say, hey, pass me a paddle. I'll help out.
He throws you on roll your dexterity.
Splap. Nope.
It clatters against your armor and leaves a big stain as it hits you.
Thanks, buddy.
It's the Dan Giles bird shit on the shoulder.
Oh, that's a great story. I'm going home. Like, okay.
He just looks at you. He's like, "If I'd known what we were doing here, I wouldn't have signed up for this job."
It probably gets better the longer you're in it. I'm sure at some point you won't be muck-breaking.
Being a muckrucker is the worst.
Yeah, it sucks. Let me help you for a minute. Take a breather. I'll start mucking.
He's trying to hold his nose from the smell in this alleyway.
Whatever.
How's everything holding up there in the Citadel?
Not great. Remember Brother Sean?
I really don't. I'm sorry.
One of the guys in the healer's hall when we came through. He helped tend the wounded. Something killed him and burned his eyes out last night.
Should the gods be unjust and cruel?
Merritt brought him back, but his eyes didn't come with him.
I don't even know what to say to that.
I mean, it was...
Are you trying to pull my leg?
Nope. No, I'm not.
Who's Whitey over there?
Oh, Raphael? He's the new guy. He likes looking at sheep. I don't know. Don't ask. He gives you a look.
He gives you a weird look.
I wink at him.
He's a good guy as long as you're not sheep, evidently. I keep shoveling muck. So you guys heard anything about this whole electing a city leader until the bishop shows up deal?
I knew there was something over this visit. I knew you didn't just come to talk.
Well, at least I'm mucking ruck for you, you know what I mean? Or ruck and muck, or whatever the fuck it is. I'm shoveling shit.
Well, they haven't picked anyone yet.
How does that even work?
I think they're just going to elect someone.
I mean, I think it's a good system that the soldiers get to pick, right? Like, most cities, soldiers don't even get that free. I mean, they just... Someone tells you what shit to do, and then when he dies, some other guy steps in. So that's not a horrible system. It's just strange to me.
Well, I think that they want the soldiers to have the vote because we're supposed to be impartial. And
Sure, not connected to any religious institution.
well, I mean, all of us have our preferred. Not all of us, but most of us do. But we're supposed to remain impartial, at least.
Sure.
Dispense justice equally.
And
Yeah.
who are you leaning towards?
Well, even though we just joined, we do get a vote, but I really don't know anyone.
I mean, me either.
I think that most of the temples and citadels, they've thrown their leader's name in the hat.
And who are the men leaning towards?
I'm just a muckrucker. They don't really give out who. They don't even really talk to us. I mean, look what they sent us.
Man, I'm sorry, this sucks.
Yeah, and it smells like hell.
Maybe stop by sometime and we will treat you out for dinner.
Yeah, I could bring you to the bar, or, you know, you could sit in the Citadel if you want to, whatever. Come by sometime. You know what I mean? Seriously, don't be strangers. Like, we've seen some shit together, and so I feel like I owe you guys at least a little bit of hospitality. So,
Are you trying to buy my vote?
no, I am not trying to buy your vote. In fact, I don't care who you vote for. I just want to know what's going on in the city. That's all. You know, I think you should vote for who you think the best person would be, because I think the best person should get the seat, right?
I don't even know anyone. I guess
I mean, at some point, the other soldiers will tell you what they think and listen to them. They probably have a good idea who would be good at it. You know, the ones that have been here for a long time, they might have some idea who could be impartial and who won't dick you guys over when it comes to pay and assignments and stuff. So I would listen to the guys that have been here for a long time and know what they're talking about. I'm not trying to buy anybody's vote. I'm just trying to make your life a little bit easier from one soldier to another.
you guys see one of the other guards of the town walk by this alleyway. They're doing a patrol, and he looks over.
I'll wave to him. Hey,
It's
friend.
like a taller gentleman with short blonde hair, kind of cut evenly. Looks over. Get back to...
I'm mucking. Hey, friend.
Wrap it up quickly.
Wrap what up?
He looks at the other soldier.
And give the guy a break. He's been mucking all day. I'm a buddy of his. I figured I'd take the load for a little bit.
Give me an insight.
Okay. Natural 20?
Sounds like he already rephrased himself after seeing you two once.
Does he look like he knows who I am?
There's some recognition in his eyes. That's why he rephrased himself.
Hey, soldier, you got a minute?
You have a moment to hear about our Lord and Savior?
I am not that dude, really.
It's called the sword.
Let's talk about the darkness inside all of us.
What do you need?
I mean, I was just wondering about how the whole system goes where you guys vote in the person that runs the town. I mean, I'm not really a political sort, but I heard about it and thought it was a really good system. I like the fact that the soldiers get a say. I just want to know more about how the whole thing works out and who the candidates might be that people are thinking about, that's all.
Can you explain why you want to know all this?
What does it matter? Is it a secret?
No, that's fine. I have no problem talking about it. Like, come on, goat looker, chill out.
I just do not know why people are treating you with disrespect.
It's fine. It's okay. I'm just wondering because, like, I work at one of the citadels, right? Like, I guess I'm the general of the Citadel of the Sun for whatever that's good for.
The
Master General, something. I'm like, I do this, and I'm kind of like laughing about it, like whatever, you know.
Self-officiated.
Yeah, but it was ratified. But anyways, I was like, I just want to know the way the wind is blowing so that I can like be ready to coordinate with whoever steps in. I was going to talk to the bishop about like trying to set up a personal security force for the Citadel of the Sun and building out a wall, but he disappeared. And so at some point I'm going to have to approach the new guy and talk to whoever the new guy is about it. And I just want to know who the guys are that might end up being the new guy.
Give me a persuasion.
Okay. I'm trained.
That's a lot of words.
I have social skills.
He's trying to wrap it up.
I'm sorry. That's why I said
That
you
was
just tell
good.
me.
It was a lot of words. Give me a persuasion.
18? 9 plus 9?
Listen, I'm glad that you show an interest in what we're doing. And I'm especially glad if you're looking to take up your own role as security in the city for the protection of everyone. I know that you're working for the Citadel of the Sun. Most of the guards are leaning towards Yor.
Okay. Is he a good sort?
He's got a military mind, and we think that this city needs that in this time.
Sure.
While the bishop's gone, he'll take the position of interim bishop.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully he can protect us if anything were to ever besiege this city. Hopefully he has enough sense and wits about him that we'll be able to weather any storm that hits us.
I mean, that's great. I had a sergeant when I was acting in active military, and he was a great guy when it came to tactics. Beautiful mind, but when you weren't actively trying to kill a thing, he was a right bastard when it came to like handing out pay increases and also duties. So is Yor kind of like that, or is he more like, I've had other sergeants that were good at not only being tacticians, but also were personable with the troops. I mean, which guy is Yor? I don't know him.
I mean, we're going with what we have to work with, and we don't know everyone personally. It's not like they come visit us in our barracks every day.
So
Why
you
not?
are not treating
If they want, I don't understand why they don't show up if they want you to vote for them.
Well, this is all happening so fast anyways. There's been a few people that showed up to try to petition our votes. It gives you kind of a one eyebrow look.
No, I'm not that guy. Just so you know, that's not what I'm doing.
So you don't want to throw your name in the hat.
He is too busy.
Look, here's the deal. I love I love the fact that you guys are a good security force. My heart is with peacekeepers and soldiers in general, but I don't know that I would be a great leader. I'm just another soldier, right? I'm not trying to command an army.
Fair is fair. I don't think you get enough votes anyways. No offense.
No, that's fine. I understand exactly why. I'm not trying to be the guy running things. I just want to know what's going on, that's all.
Does a soldier get temporary hit points from inspiring leader?
Not 10 minutes yet.
If we talk for 10 minutes, I'll
We're
try to
getting
hit him
close.
with it. I'll be like, here you go, man. Yeah.
Do you have any ulterior motive? Is that a game? Like, are you trying to
Cooper.
do anything?
No, he really just wants to know what's going on. He wants to know what way he wants to know what the political climate is like, who the different leaders are, and he's trying probably at some point to suss out like who he thinks the best man is. because Cooper really hopes that a good man is the one that gets the seat, not like a war tyrant, right? So he's concerned about the leadership, and that might come through. Like, he's not trying to hide that. He's concerned about the soldiers and the people of the city, and actually wants a good man to get the seat.
Right, so you can suss out that from what he's saying is yours probably going to get the vote.
But he's not really talking about how good of a guy Yor is. Yor is more like the best guy they have. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay. If we talk for 10 minutes, I will inspire everybody in the alley.
Sounds like you can talk for 10 minutes, so...
I can, so I do it. Everybody
Can
gets
you
19
use that
hit
all
points.
day, every day, at all times?
Nope, the people that have already gotten it can't get the benefit again until they finish a rest.
Okay,
But
how long does it last?
Like 8 hours or some shit.
Okay.
But I can keep hitting different people. So I can be like an inspiring
So Delron's
motherfucker.
about to go like on a city
Inspiring
inspiration
tour.
tour.
Yeah. I'm a motivational speaker.
$400,000, please.
For 19 hit points, I don't know if it's that big of a deal. Let me see how long it lasts for, though, just to be sure. But it's a pretty awesome thing. Inspiring leader. So I can spend 10 minutes inspiring my companions, choose up to 6 allies. So me,
All of you.
Yeah, all the guys in the alley.
Even the 2 that are now getting back to work and mucking the alley.
Yeah, they can see or hear me and can understand me within 30 feet. Each creature gains 19 temporary hit points once per short rest.
Okay, so you get 19 temporary, and
Yep.
you do too. He's being very inspirational and talking about the defenses of the city. Yeah, honestly, sorry, let's go back into character. Yeah, honestly, I don't know Yor personally. I've met him a few times, but
What citadel is he attached to, or is he not attached to a citadel?
he's been affiliated with a couple different citadels, and he's known for some minor magics, and people have recruited him to his side, to their citadel, to help out with different tasks.
Maybe we will go visit this Yor.
Yeah.
I would like to see this magic he does.
I just want to talk to him and see what kind of man he is. Make sure that he's a good sword. That's all. I'm just concerned about the city. Do you know where we might find Yor?
Oh yeah. Go ahead, Dylan, you always talk. I don't say that.
I think currently, right now, he might even be at the barracks, but he might be over at the Temple of Shar. He's been visiting them recently.
Okay.
Who are some of the other candidates?
So he'll list off a few names, but
Yor's the guy.
in the end, he's like, honestly, like, there's other people that are in the running, but it's going to be a pretty considerable vote for Yor. Like, even if there's 15 people, most of the guards, this is like a brotherhood,
Yeah.
being a soldier. I don't know if you understand that.
I don't think he does. It's okay.
Excuse me?
You're not a soldier.
Well, you don't know me very well. I am a soldier.
Not again.
We talk. Later.
Okay. Whatever.
Well, then you would understand that this is a brotherhood, and we're probably mostly going to vote the same way.
Makes sense.
It won't be unanimous, but it'll be close too.
Sure. Well, hey, for what it's worth, I appreciate what you guys do every day, putting your shit on the line. And, you know, if you ever need any help, not strings attached, you can come look for me at the Citadel. I might not be a great leader, but I can swing a sword, right?
Sometimes that's all you need.
It's gonna serve me all right. It's a little help from my friends.
And if you know any good men, and if you really were a soldier, if you know any good men, send them our way. We can use all the help we can get.
Yeah, for sure. If we find anybody looking for a home, I'll bring them back here and redirect them. Anyways, thanks for the day. Or thanks for your time today.
Okay.
I'll finish mucking whatever I was mucking and pass the shovel back over carefully so I don't splatter dude man like he splattered me.
Carter takes the shovel.
Thanks, Carter. I appreciate it. When you have time, you should stop by.
Maybe I'll come by for a shower or something.
Yeah, that works.
Bath.
Why not? We got hot water. Right?
The cylinder is not this big. There is no hot water.
We'll figure something out. If nothing else, I'll have Merritt heated.
I just lived down there in the boiler.
Yeah.
So, Artigan, what are you doing?
I'm probably gonna find a good place to just sit and. I mean,
You're not going to do the Artigan lately, are you?
Leave.
instead of sitting and looking into nowhere, I'm going to sit and look at the book.
You're going to be reading.
Yep.
Mm.
I'm gonna do
Alright.
the if I'm ever like feeling tired, take a quick nap, but then get back to reading kind of thing.
Okay, Merit.
I mean, I thought that was the morning to noon, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Just giving you all opportunity to do things in this time frame.
Okay. I'm going to use a little bit of magic and make some continual flame glass orbs, because I eventually would like to try to even sell some of these and replace the absolutely hazardous oil lamps that are all over this wooden town, and instead we'll be able to light the place without, potentially burning it down. So I'm going to make a couple of those.
Now, those always stay on.
Yeah.
I guess you could have
Just cover
snuff
them.
caps.
Yep. Just cover it with a towel or
Yeah.
a rag or some shit.
But I figure that's where the real benefit of that would be, to create essentially light bulbs.
You can even turn into flashlights if you wrap everything except for the front half of it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Spotlights.
So I'm going to do that for a little bit, make a few of those, and
Spend your spell slots if you have to.
Yeah, I will. But if Adina doesn't show up soon, after I make about 4 of those, I'm going to go find
You
her.
said to meet her after breakfast.
Yeah.
How long does it take to make one?
6 seconds.
Oh, really? It's just
Yeah.
that quick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it until dispelled?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
Forever.
So, I mean, I'm not going to just sit down and churn them out in 30 seconds. I'm going to find different objects, like glass balls, etc., things that would make better use than others.
Sounds all Goblin King.
Mm-hmm.
Bait with the power.
Cool.
But
Then
That's
you can go
very good,
find
I guess.
Adina, because this is still the morning, and breakfast won't be done by the time you finish.
oh, okay. So she's still down there eating.
She's there eating with a few of the other people that live at the Citadel and people that come to visit during the day. And she's sitting with Andy right now and Darnella.
Okay, I'll sit down and rub the hair of Andy and sit down next to her. Hello, ladies. Might I join you?
Please. You finished early. Andy
Yes.
looks up and she's got a full mouth of food. She's like,
Is that waffles? Who made you waffles?
"These are the best," she says.
I had an apple. This is. Who was making waffles and didn't tell me?
You want some of
There's
mine?
one rule. Yes?
So
Yeah, I'll just kind of hang out.
you will eat with them. We'll go back to you guys.
I think we should head back to the Citadel and grab lunch and then go look for Yor. Were you actually a soldier? Like, for real?
Yeah. I was a soldier for Linspire.
Is that your background as I'm asking out of game?
Oh, out of game? Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
But, well, we'll get to that later.
That's whatever.
You'll find out some other stuff.
Okay.
You
I'm
can
just,
talk about it right now.
I mean, what was it like being soldiering in Linspire? Were they, like, fair and equitable to their soldiers? Or did they treat them like hired servants and shit?
No, they were pretty fair. It was a good life. I joined out of I was seeking revenge. My father was killed. It was a pretty horrible time.
Yeah, sorry to hear about that.
It's alright. That is actually where I died the first time in one of the battles. But after my time, I met Rome and I was later knighted. It's a very long story.
I mean, you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. I understand. Just trying to get you in a little bit. Since it looks like we're working together, might as well.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's hard to talk about the past.
Agreed.
So I find it's better to look towards the future.
I also think that's true.
Or lives in the present.
Better even. Presently, let's go get some lunch.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. Merritt, did you really want to go over the letter things? Or you were just gonna...
I do have something that I need her to scribe for me, being my scribe and all.
Do you want to roleplay it?
Sure. Well, it won't be super in-depth,
Okay.
but there will be.
So after breakfast, she'll pull out her notepad. It's only a quarter full. Okay, Merritt, what did you need today?
I'm going to need some help writing some letters to the various religious leaders. I'll lay out the basics of the first and then leave you to fill in the details and particularly the gaps for the other leaders.
So she's shorthanding all of what you're saying. And then when you start the transcription, she'll write it out in full.
And so I was like, Merritt Everlight, Dawnkeeper of Oakdale, representative of the Citadel of the Sun, invites or extends a respectful greeting to the leadership of the Temple of Shar. Then say something about tying it in personally, like a balance between the light and the dark, because that would work best for that particular church. And say that ours is not a city of war, and to be focused too much on conflict is to lose who we are, regardless of whose blood is shed. And that I hope to bring together the various leaderships of these churches and to create a steadfast parliament.
She flicks her finger and flips the page and continues writing.
And with the Temple of the Gods being recently compromised, we will be looked to provide leadership how to best care for those of our city. And I do not plan to fail them. I invite you to participate and I don't know. Some sort of grand closing. Those are the things you're good at. But also, I would like to send one to Temple of Mistra. And you can, instead of the balance between light and dark, you can talk about protecting the supernatural, something magical. Let's see, who else do we have? The Geshtai, who always protect the water sources. So again, try to just establish solidarity and not so much like a war council. I'm just hoping that this becomes a resource. I don't want to usurp leadership, anything like that. And actually send one off to Oh, what is his last name? Raphael Bisset, on behalf of Savras, and say something about how we need to unite to protect the innocent rather than to seek revenge.
So she's like furiously writing all this down. Do you want these to go out today?
As soon as possible.
I'll get on it. Maybe I'll try to find Art again. He's more poetic than I am.
Yeah, he's... Good luck finding him.
Very true.
Yeah.
If not, I'm sure Darnella knows a little bit about that.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
And that'll be everyone's morning.
Mm-hmm.
You guys come back to the Citadel. You come back to the Citadel. How many hours did you read, Art, again?
How long has it been?
3 more hours.
3 more hours. Okay.
Just race.
You know Artigan's on task at
Mhm.
all times.
Yep.
It didn't happen.
You all reconvene at high noon.
Lunchtime.
People are back. Glory's back. Lodi's back. Father Amiel, the Citadel looks like it's hustling and bustling again, alive.
So while we're lunching, I'm gonna see if I can get Ramiel and Gloriosa and Lodi all at the same table. Eating.
Well, they're not at the same table, but they're all in the room.
Well, I just want to ask them what they know about Yor. Hey, do you guys know Yor? Maybe even Merritt. Merritt might know him.
You know of Yor. He is a high elf. What do you know about Yor?
He's a religious mercenary.
Pretty much.
I asked Gloriosa and Lodi especially, do you know if he's a good man? Because he's the man that's going to lead the city.
Glory looks up. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't follow any particular god, and I'm sure that would be a great choice for the city because that's one of
Attached
our
to
main
anything.
attractions to the
Mhm.
outside world and to people that want to come visit us.
But is he going to be good for the people?
As far as I've met him, he seems to have the best in mind for the city. He's a good man.
That's good. I'm glad to hear of it. Because it looks like that's who the soldiers are going to vote in.
Very well. Do you know when they're doing the vote?
I don't. I imagine it's going to be soon.
We haven't had a vote for a long time. You were just a child when that happened.
I don't even remember the bishop being elected.
You were too young.
Yeah. I remember, maybe it was because I was so small, but just how big the Citadel seemed back then.
Things are like that. My old family house in memory is as large as a citadel. In reality, I can barely fit through the kitchen door.
It's got like one room.
The kitchen.
No, it's got one bedroom for the parents and one bedroom for all the kids. All three of you had
yep.
to share a room.
It seemed huge at the time.
Well, if that's who they pick, then that's probably the best. Roan walks into the room. He bows to everyone. May I join you?
Of course, Ron.
Have an apple. I kind of lob it towards him.
We'll see how dexterous he is. He barely catches it. It's like, ugh. Thank you.
Yeah.
He brushes down his robes. Still has the big M emblazoned on him. And he's combed his tuft of hair on the front of his head back.
He's not brushing it forward.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
He'll sit down.
How is Linspire?
Very well. Very well.
And what of my retainers? Have you met with them?
Was I to meet with them while I was there?
No, I
They
just
came asking about you.
was just wondering.
Do you have retainers? I thought you were a soldier.
I am a knight.
I always get mixed up
I
with
started as a soldier.
which one is which again? I can't remember.
There is Gillian. He was the tall one, the eldest of the brothers.
Gilligan?
Gillian.
Gilliam?
Gillian.
Gillian.
Gillian. Okay.
There's Reynold.
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 Renowned?
And Frederick. Frederick.
Predator?
I don't even know that last. I'm not going to try that last one.
Gilligan,
Frederick.
Rhino, and Predator?
Frederick.
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 Fred.
That's what it's... Okay, I just bite an apple and look away. All right.
I didn't get that one either.
I was like, frown number?
Are they triplets?
No, they're just brothers. And
Okay.
There is a older one, a middle one, and a younger one.
This is what you get for never telling me.
Yeah.
I know. I wanted to spring it on
Billy
you.
Goat's
Goldilocks.
gruff. Or little Billy Goat, the middle Billy Goat, and the big Billy Goat.
They came asking on you. I told them what I know.
Run away.
How is everyone? I've heard there's been some obviously concerning things.
Yeah. Well, has there been any other news other than my room being ransacked? Any other thing been found out of sorts?
I spent some time hanging out with the soldiers. They're voting for your. That's what I know. That's what we spent our morning doing, is hanging out with the soldiers and mucking an alley.
I'm afraid we don't know many details yet. If you have any resources that could help lead the investigation, would be
What's our
appreciated.
timeline, by the way? When is the 2 days up?
2 days. Tomorrow?
Okay.
I wasn't there for that part, so
Hardigan might know.
Because I've been having some thoughts
good
about
luck
that.
finding Artigan.
I think Hardigan's there by now.
Not only is he invisible most of the
Oh,
time,
yeah?
now he found his
Yeah.
own
I'll show
dimension
him.
to hang out.
Art.
As you say that, Hardigan walks in the room, book under arm. He's
Art.
I can hear you guys.
When is our? That's not creepy. When's our timetable up?
Oh, well, let's see. Technically speaking, it's weird for us because we spent a lot of time in the dream realm. Well, last night would have been night 1, so tonight would be night 2. So
Okay, because I've been thinking a little bit about that. Maybe we shouldn't be here when time runs out.
This is true.
You might
Yeah.
come looking for us.
gentleman, Rowan says. Maybe we should take this to another room. And he motions towards some of the children in the room and the women.
Good call. I grabbed my plate.
He looks down at Gloriosa. Can I escort you? She nods. He holds out his arm, helps her find it. To the conference room.
Sure. You have one?
You do.
Awesome.
This is where you first met Rowan.
All right. And Ron, I've got a question for you once we get there, too. That's maybe not for sensitive ears, but...
Exactly.
Yeah, let's go.
You all start filing off towards the conference room.
Depending on how sensitive the information would be, should we go to the conference room or the conference room?
I don't think everybody can get into the art museum.
it's gone right now.
Oh,
It-
well then.
It takes 24 hours and then it disappears.
So, to the regular conference room we
To
go.
the regular, and just bear in mind that,
Anything you
Not-
say can be heard.
yeah.
Okay. I mean, That's just a fact of life.
Otherwise, why say it, right?
So he'll escort you there. Who do you all invite besides Glory?
Nope. I don't know about anybody else.
So it's you guys, Rowan and Glory.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So,
As you're walking to the conference room, Raphael, he'll look at you. Are you okay, Raphael?
This has been a crazy 24 hours. Even more, maybe 48 hours. Even more than that. Probably the last week has been the craziest of my life.
Because of everyone here? Or the events? I would put dying on a scale of probably the craziest thing that ever happened to you.
These are worrisome times.
Do you say worth sometimes or worry sometimes?
I think I'm starting to get it. I think it was worrisome.
Okay.
I was trying to be quiet and just talk to Raphael.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, didn't know
okay.
that.
Sense of
Okay,
use.
all right. Into the conference room. Everybody in?
You all file in.
I will say to you, before we get into the room, I'd be like, a married time, you've always considered me a friend, correct?
Of course.
And never a servant.
Servant? I mean, you've served for things I've asked, but you've done duties. I wouldn't consider you a servant. You saved my daughter.
What do you... Everything good over here?
They're on the outside.
I mean, I'm waiting for them to go in.
It was just a dream I had. What did you know of Chenier?
Oh, in the conference room, buddy.
It's like a dream.
It was a dream.
Understood. Let's go in.
All right.
So everyone will sit in their seats. So you've been there.
Way to go, man.
I did not tell him. He is just smart.
This is a cheap looker. You're totally screwing this up. So here's the deal. Magnus is going to show up around the time of our deadline, or he's going to come looking for us. And I'm thinking that he's a diviner, so he'll know where to find us. If we're not here, he won't come here. Right?
You might still come here.
If I were him, I would come here and make us come back.
Maybe we should find somewhere more sensitive to talk about this.
Can you do that?
I can't do that.
I can't do it either.
Only there is a place.
I could get Chenier. He can cast,
Nope, not Chenier.
but he can protect.
Not Chenier.
Well, let's start there.
Yeah, let's start there. He can protect who? Who has he protected so far?
He can enchant the room so no one could hear.
I'm sorry, man. Have you spoken to Chenier?
I've been in Lindspire.
Here's the
I
deal.
haven't
has not
spoken to
contacted-
anyone except the fellows from the Citadel.
I was worried that he would contact you. I had a bit of confrontation with him.
I spoke with him before the meeting. A little bit.
This was after the meeting. He showed up quite late.
It's possible Chenier might be a traitor as fuck. I just say it.
Showed up for late for what?
So here's the deal. So far, let's look at the facts. He was in Riverstorm. It falls to Magnus. Magnus had a plan in place that took a lot of time, effort, and preparation. So it'll be easier if you had somebody on the inside, right? After that, he's in Oakdale. Oakdale falls to Magnus's military forces.
Oakdale hasn't.
Or not Oakdale, what was it? Woodhaven.
Woodhaven.
Woodhaven falls to Magnus's military forces, conveniently because Sheer blows up the walls, right? There's another one. Number 3, Chenire's here when we end up taking a trip. He leaves calmly and collectedly, doesn't tell anybody what's going on. No one has seen him since then. And we're pretty sure there's somebody in the council who is a turncoat. He would be too good if it was him. It would be the perfect setup. So, we're concerned. That's why not him.
Ron, I know you've known Shinya for so long.
Then what do we do about it?
I mean, I don't know. I had a couple ideas.
Well, let's hear them. How
Okay.
are we going to find out if it's him?
Idea number 1. Sean got his...
I've heard.
Yep. Well, he said that the person in the room was speaking something that sounded like possibly could be infernal. I can sense fiends out to 60 feet. If I can get around the council, maybe one of them has been replaced by an imposter. I could tell if there's a fiend on board. A. B. I can cast a Zone of Truth. If we cast Zone of Truth, we can interrogate the council with the Zone of Truth and figure out who it is, or just question Shinir. Anybody's going to be pissed if they walk into the zone, but hopefully, if we have some gilded tongues, maybe we can tell everybody, look, this is so we can figure out who it is. We're just implicating everybody to be safe. We want to know who the traitor is so we can keep the rest of us safe. That was my other thought. But my third thought is that in how many hours?
Jump for that chord, Josh.
Oh, sorry. I'm all like...
Let's see, how many hours would it be? Is it like 16, somewhere in there?
In 16 hours, Magnus will be wherever we are.
I'm pretty sure the council was leaving today.
Well, then we should figure out which one of them it is now.
I may agree with Dalaran Kubel on this. So it seems abrasive. It is the most direct way.
I like the direct way.
And there is little to no time. Mary, what have you thought of this?
Well, the evidence against Shinir is enough to be troubling. I must admit, I do still trust him.
Well, good on you, mate, but I don't.
There might be someone else.
I don't even trust everybody in the room. No offense, Ron. I don't know you that well. I trust you guys in the world. That's it.
Fair enough.
You would not be exempt, nor would you, from the questioning. Keep that in mind.
This does not worry me.
And to be fair, you would not be either.
I mean, no. If anybody else can cast a Zone of Truth, I would happily submit. I have always been an open book.
Yes.
A little bit of a lie. Just a little bit.
What do you mean? No one asked.
It's because you didn't read the book.
That's right. Hey, it was sitting there the whole time.
If we did that, maybe I can get an emergency meeting with the council.
Let's do it. First, I'll sweep for fiends, and then we'll move on to the circle of whatever it is.
Where will this be held?
Maybe we should do this away from Oakdale.
On the ship. We'll do it on the ship. That way they can't run to the ship to get away from us. We'll already be there.
And if I can't, call an emergency meeting.
This is of peril.
Do you have another way, another plan?
If we can't call an emergency meeting, we can always stay on the airship. Go with them when they're going somewhere.
We
Get them all together at a
say
meal.
we have decided who we nominate to join the Council of 13.
And who would that be?
Not everyone may show up for that.
For now, say we have announced. I would say just announced that we've decided.
Thought that was going to be the case anyways.
Yeah, we're going to send Gloriosa, right?
That is my assumption as well. And I turn and look at her. I don't know if we've talked about it since then.
Sure. Just for the sake of, we could spend 10 hours doing all this.
So, Mom.
Yep.
How about...
I was thinking.
Yeah.
So we'll say that you've already talked to her about it.
Okay.
And she is willing.
Yeah.
I will be going with them. I hadn't heard when they're leaving. I don't think they've actually set a time, and from what I hear, they're not very good at keeping those commitments to time.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't do that. I can't cast that spell.
Do council members have servants or retinues that they keep with them?
I'll be bringing Danella with me, and Nara,
Ron, how many servants do you have
under my command.
with you when you're with the council and the airship? How many servants do you have?
I don't generally bring my servants with me.
Does anybody?
Some bring a few, but no, we tend to travel light. And honestly, I don't go with them a lot on the ship anyways. I can get around just fine throughout the world. Not everyone can. Right now, I've decided that I would like to stay here.
How does teleportation work?
You have to be. It's within 10 feet of somebody. Let me double check here.
No, not to get them off. So say that we wanted to get to the airship. If you went on a tour and took an object from the airship or memorized a room or something, could you get back to it later?
If I have an associated object, then yes.
Could you get us on the airship for a tour before it takes off? If you can't get them to do an emergency meeting?
I could do that.
Then Art can grab something from the ship, and later on, we can just pop in and make inquiries when you guys are in the air, and no one can run, so to speak.
If the council truly cares about the future of the world, they will have no problem with this.
Unless there's more than one traitor.
Not only that, but not everyone knows what's going on.
Why are we keeping these people in the dark?
Because I don't know who it is, and I don't know who to trust.
Well, Shanir knows. He
I've
watched us.
talked to Shanir.
And what has he said?
I trust him.
You've talked to him since we went into the...
I have not talked to him since then.
Well, he knows about that. And he disappeared. Don't tell him about this.
What does he know?
He knows that we went somewhere else. That's it. And Roan.
I'm
Okay.
Oh, never mind. No, I'm not.
And Roan,
I'm not.
just so you know, when we find this person, I'm going to want to talk with them for a little while.
You see, part of my job as a counselor is to uphold the 13 international laws.
Mm-hmm.
You do realize that one of them is they will not be tortured. See, this is something that we believe no matter what. And when you talk to me like that and you say I want to talk to them, it's something that I can't allow. Morally, can't be justified.
So what will we do with these traitors?
Kill them, I guess.
No. This is not the
I don't think you understand how law works.
So Cooper.
I mean, Cooper's like, well, we can't
You
torture
see,
them, man.
we have laws in place for a reason. There would be a trial.
this
We
point
don't
is
just execute people.
someone
because
accused of a treason that may or may not even actually have happened.
I'm not saying we go off half-cocked, so to speak. I think that, like, we figure out if there's a traitor in our midst, and if there is, like...
we would hold them, and they would have a trial.
I understand what you're saying. And
I don't know if you do, but it sounds like
Yeah.
you do, Merritt.
I actually understand what that means.
Yeah.
Like,
I believe
we
you
go
have,
through this a lot, actually.
Yeah.
I believe you comprehend,
Mhm.
but it doesn't sound like that's what you follow.
Like, that's what if I agree.
And I don't want to know about all your past transgressions. Please do not tell me.
I would rather not talk about it either anymore. People that need to know, but this is what I do want to say. What if spending some time with this person for a few hours before the trial guarantee, the safety of 1,000 people, of 200 people? Would it be worth it?
There's a reason we believe that torture is not allowed. People under duress might admit to anything.
I could tell
To
if it were true.
anything. Can you? Can you be sure on that? Can you rely on that?
What if I didn't hurt him? What if I just talked to him? What if we just had a discussion while they were in the zone of truth?
That's different.
Okay?
But I don't know if I trust you right now.
Well, that goes both ways here. I don't know if I trust you either, Roan. So fair
So,
enough.
Let's just clear this up right now. We all must trust each other. Cast Zone of Truth on me. And marry time.
Well, if I do it now, I can't do it later because I'm running out of resources. So, that's an issue.
Gotta go easier on those spells, buddy.
Hey, man. Smite, like...
I turn all my usefulness into
Actually, wait. I
damage.
might be able to do it more than once. Let me see. Because it's a second level spell?
I don't know.
No, what the
You
hell?
should know.
I mean, okay, so I can do it 2 times if I blow my 5th level spell slot once at one of those times. So I can do it twice. All right. You want to trust each other?
Is there a way to exempt yourself?
Let me read Zone of Truth. I think everybody in the zone. But it's only... Yeah, I don't think it works on me necessarily.
Okay, Siri, thanks.
Zone. Okay, so here's what it says. You create a magical zone that guards against deception in a 15-foot radius sphere centered at a point of your choice within range. Until the spell ends, a creature that enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there must make a charisma saving throw. On a failed save, a creature can't speak a deliberate lie while in the radius. You know whether each creature succeeds or fails on its saving throw. An affected creature is aware of the spell and can thus avoid answering questions to which it would normally respond with a lie. Such creatures can be evasive in its answers as long as it remains within the boundaries of the truth. So, but I know whether each creature succeeds or fails on its saving throw. They wouldn't know if I succeed or fail.
And they wouldn't know if you're telling the truth if you succeed.
Right.
And they wouldn't know.
I know. So it only works for me. So I tell them it doesn't work. It only works for me. Like, I can tell if people are lying or telling
That
the truth.
seems very one-sided, but if you must,
That's the tool I have available to me at the moment.
get on with it.
Sure. How long does it last? Zone of Truth lasts 10 minutes. Okay, we got 10 minutes. Ready?
Before you do it,
Yep.
this is it. After this, everyone in the room will trust each other.
Depending on what happens next. Yeah.
And we will get to the bottom of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And we must move forward. Right now, we're moving very slowly.
When I cast the spell, it would be best if you didn't resist the magic. Just let it wash over you. right? Like a cool summer's breeze. If you fight it, I will know. I cast it. 17? Yeah, you're good, right?
Oh yeah, I was just teasing.
Oh, okay.
I could smoke your DC with no
Yeah.
problem.
You'd be like,
I cast Zone of Truth. Wow.
what happens with Zone of Truth?
What does it actually look like when I do it?
Yeah. Does
Okay.
it look like anything?
Yes.
All of our tongues and get shackled.
So I like close my eyes for a minute, and then when I open my eyes, they're just straight black, like when I blow my wings out, and the shadows in the room start to move, and everybody hears these weird sibilant whispers like for a second, and the light in the room dims. And then I blink again, and my eyes are back to normal.
Did anyone want to roll? It washes over everyone.
Okay, cool. No one succeeds in their saving throw, so to speak. All right. I mean, anybody
So
can
who's
ask
doing the
questions.
questioning?
You want to ask him some questions, since you're the one that's worried about what's going on?
I trust my own time.
Really? Because it didn't sound like that in the way, and your dream space fucked your head up, man.
I don't know if you would have gathered that much.
Okay, I didn't get that.
I
That's
don't think
good.
you did.
I'll ask maritime stuff then. How long have you known Magnus Monroe, or known of him?
Known of him. I've been a council member for over 30 years. I didn't sit on the council when it fell, but I've been a member
So that's how long you've known of him?
since he joined.
Have you ever talked to him directly?
A couple times. Long, long, long time ago. He was a very smart person.
So wait, you weren't on the council when he was.
I was not a sitting council member. The council has about 20 people at all times, but they don't all sit as just a cards, is what you could kind of call them.
Did you talk to him after he killed a bunch of council members?
I have not talked to him since then.
Have you been in contact with any people that serve or work for him since then?
I've not been in contact with any of his cronies.
Have you ever moved against other council members?
Politically? Yes.
Who?
I won't say that here.
Trust, it's such a fragile thing. All right. Have you ever tried to have anybody killed on the council?
No.
Have you ever moved against your conscience?
I fight with my conscience daily. I think everyone here has probably moved against their conscience once or twice.
I think this is true, especially for you, Delaron.
I mean, obviously.
Do you know who would seek to subvert the Council of 13 from the inside in favor of Magnus Monroe?
I don't. And I don't know if they're doing what they're doing in favor of Magnus Monroe.
Do you have any suspicions on who the
I've
one might
given
be?
you my suspicions.
Say them now.
You have not ever said a name.
I've
Not
given
even
you
to
my
me.
Right.
non-suspicions.
Do you have any suspicions?
I don't have a single name to implicate.
Maybe go ahead and use more than one. Do you have any suspicions?
After this, let's do some questioning for other people. He looks generally frustrated.
That's fine.
When you kind of jump back in, I was going to ask that question to every single person.
But he looks generally frustrated, and you can see it on his face, and it's a little reddened, slight embarrassment, and slight anger.
It's not personal, Roan. I want to be able to trust you. That's why I'm asking
It's
you all the
not
questions.
personal.
I want to be able to trust you. That's why I'm digging.
I don't even remember all the council members' names. It's possible it could be Trissa. It's possible that it could be... It wasn't Malachi.
That's my brother.
Are you getting this?
Malcor.
Are you getting this?
I'm trying right fast I can.
It's not Melkor.
Well, if I got used to having a scribe, okay? then you said you couldn't come.
Okay, let me look it up. You're making me
She was the
look
one
up
that found
names.
Sean, right? I don't know what that means. And she doesn't drink. I don't trust people that don't drink.
It's possible it could be Calvin. He talks a lot. He's very mouthy. He has a short temper. To me, that means that he's not very... He doesn't have good willpower. Possibly easy to fall. It could be Alice. It could be Sven. I won't tell you his full name.
All the names. Sven. What's his full name?
It's not Alice Fun.
What? Wait, say it again.
As fun.
Oh, yeah, right. It's Aspen.
And I don't think I wrote the other name down.
There's Parissa,
Just going through all the names but Cheniers.
Chenier, Amorosa.
He already told you trust Chenier.
Yeah. That's the one person who talked about trusting.
No, there's more.
Okay.
But he is actually like... Let's go to the next person.
Okay. Raphael.
Raphael, you want to find your place with these gentlemen. They need your help. We need their help. They need to trust you.
Going through the list again, do you know, or have you taken any orders from Magnus or one of his cronies?
I have not.
Have you ever met with Magnus personally?
I have not.
Have you ever met with anybody who worked for Magnus?
I have not.
How did you meet Roan?
I found his daughter on the side of the road getting attacked. It was a pivotal time in my life. It was right after I died
How did you die?
on the battlefield.
Who killed you?
It was some random hobgoblin. I died. The god Savros brought me back. He said this was an accident. And since my original fate was ruined, he'd provide me with a new one. I awoke with no pigment in my skin, no color in my hair.
Who killed your father?
Zeus, I do not know, but I heard it was the hobgoblins that were making troubles for this city.
Did he have 6 fingers on his hand?
No.
Roland's looking extremely frustrated. So we rely on you for all the answers.
Me? You mean you're looking at me to see if someone's lying? Yeah, if someone's lying, I'll tell you.
I mean, they can't lie, right?
No, they can't. No, they can't lie. They can only be evasive. They cannot lie.
So you can tell us right now if anyone did succeed.
Yeah, if someone succeeded in being able to fight back against the magic spell, I would let you know.
Well,
No one in the room succeeded.
okay. I think that's what the answer is.
Yeah, everybody submitted, so they cannot lie. They have to tell the truth.
Which means
Right.
as long as you did not fail, then we could say that is true.
Yep, yeah.
And until someone else can cast that spell, that's as
Sorry.
much as we can get. I will ask.
So we've been interrogated.
Yeah, I'm going to ask
How
that
about
same
you?
question of Gloriosa, of
Which
Raphael,
question?
Do you know who would seek to subvert the will of the Council of 13 from the inside.
So Glory would say no.
What are her suspicions? Does she suspect anybody?
I don't even think she really knew much about it.
No,
Alright.
probably not.
She tells you that. She's like, I haven't given it thought. I haven't had time to.
Has she ever met with Magnus? Personally?
Don't think so.
Has she ever met with anybody that she knows is
You
intentionally
wrote more of her backstory than I did.
working for him?
Yeah, I don't
Yes.
That answer for you is yes as well.
For what?
Have you met with anybody who's intentionally working for Magnus? For you, that answer is yes. Just like it is for Gloriosa.
Well, for
Yeah,
all of you.
everyone
Well,
that
for me
was
too.
hanging out with Lorenzo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, not just Lorenzo.
When you said met with.
No, we ran into some Dragonborn. And we ran into his brother.
And Garavon. Oh, gee. This is getting awkward.
Yep.
Every time the answer is yes, Rowan gets a little more concerned.
I mean,
I'll
we killed a
say-
bunch of them.
I'll say even that I personally met with him because he wanted the Book of Ascension. He was trying to get me to get it to him.
Did you get it to him?
No.
Did you tell him you would?
I told him I would make a choice in 2 days.
Have you made a choice?
I haven't personally phrased my questions the way I would like them to be.
Wait,
Or
what?
not questions.
Answers.
Does that count as
Yeah.
an evasive?
Yeah, that's evasive. I'm like, whoa, Art.
Have you made your choice?
About my answers?
What will you tell him?
I haven't made that choice yet.
Do you know where the book is?
No.
There you go.
Do you know who has the book?
Well, I handed it to you. If you did anything with it, I do not know.
So Art can't give it to him. You've taken steps.
And for what it's worth, under the spell, I do not have the book.
Would you give it to Magnus if he threatened your mother?
No.
She keeps a pretty calm face.
Yeah, I'm like, and
Why'd you say it so fast?
gut punch. Sorry, Mom.
Do you feel that everyone's been interrogated thoroughly?
I mean, I don't know. Does anybody else want to ask anything while we're here?
I can probably tell you that this will not fly for the council.
Do you have any rashes? You've been keeping a secret?
No. I shrink when I go to the bar. I don't see hookers.
Just from my own personal experience. As of now, I can tell you this will not be acceptable.
Yeah, Calvin will hit you with a hammer if you pull that shit.
Well, I mean, he's welcome to try. But here's my thought. You're far more diplomatic than the rest of us. And at this point, we know that you're not in cahoots. So all I have to do is sit there and cast the spell and nod or shake my head. And you can do all the questioning.
You're not sure if it's going to work or not.
I mean, we can prime them and be like, you know, as a way of non-admission of guilt, please don't fight. You know, we can talk to them about what's going on. We don't have to be all cloak and dagger. I am a fairly direct individual, and I favor letting them know what we're doing instead of doing it covertly.
I think we need to find another way.
We don't have time to be subtle.
Why are you so afraid of offending someone?
I just don't think it's going to go the way you want it to.
Are you worried about us also answering questions that they have, or are you worried
He's worried about what we're going to do after we find the answers to those questions. That's what I think.
I wouldn't be worried about what Merritt might do.
That's the
Or
last one we'll
Raphael.
ever have to worry about.
I will not let Delaran do anything.
I smile. That's cute. If you ask me to follow your rules, I will do what Merritt thinks is best.
Oh.
People look to you. Glory looks at you.
What time is it, by the way? Okay, in here.
All right. By definition, it's very unlikely that we have a majority of council members who are acting against the interest of the council. Otherwise, the majority would be the will of the council, and they would act openly.
It's subversion.
In that sense, I am unwilling to sacrifice the freedom and dignity of the majority for the sake of catching the minority who are misbehaving. As such, I would ask that if we are to go ahead with this plan, that you would follow Roan's lead.
And in the meantime, let's think of different ways that we can go about this. And we're still under the effect of the spell, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this might not be the most important thing. This might be wasting our time.
Fair.
There's someone out there that needs to be caught. It might not be our job. We could leave that to others. There's many things that need to be done.
So what do you think the most important thing is?
I'm worried about this group, the Hallowed.
With the priests?
The cult. There's a city that's being enslaved or held, or I couldn't tell you. They're under the rule of the cult. But I really want to know more about them more than I care about the city.
More than you care about this city.
The city that's being held by the cult.
Oh, sure.
Melanon.
Melanon?
Can you drop this damnable spell, please?
Why?
He looks very frustrated.
Why is it
Are you trying to tell a lie right now?
I'm not used to talking open and so freely, and it's frustrating.
Maybe it's good for you. Just try it more often.
It is a bit like a muscle you can flex. Speaking of flexing muscles,
Consider this a 10-minute workout.
Yeah, like, how long has it been?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Someone else talk.
He didn't want to say that he cared more about finding out than about the town because he wants to be seen as a humanitarian, so that's okay.
You say out loud.
Yeah. I mean, I would say it out loud anyways, probably.
Well, we had some weird jet lag from going to the dream world and such, so I don't know about anyone else, but I'm going to be heading to bed here soon. Probably.
It's like 1 o'clock, Art.
Oh, in 3 hours I'll be going to bed.
Okay.
So.
Good on you, man. All right, so you think we should find out about this cult because the cult worships the god of death.
There's so many things that need to be done. I haven't been able to talk to Diranor in a while. He is my main source of information.
Isn't Diranor the old guy from the Shadowfell?
I'm afraid
Yes.
I owe him a favor as well.
I don't really like Dearnor.
He's not a likable fellow, but he knows a lot.
Never met him.
Yeah, you weren't there for that.
There are some loose ends from that period of my life that will need to be dealt with eventually as well.
What kind of loose ends? Is the spell down yet?
As part of a deal that he and I made, I agreed that were I ever able to come across the blood of my diabolical father, a devil called Gaziel, that I would provide him with that blood. That could, well, I will say that I am conflicted about that possibility. However, Gaziel is quite wicked, and parting him from his blood probably do the realms a great good.
I mean, I'm down for sword swinging as much as the next guy.
I am just absolutely giddy at the fact that you hesitate at all.
Well, because I'm thinking about it, I'm like, he's your dad. Like, no matter how bad he is, maybe killing him is not the greatest thing as you want it to be. And I think maybe, too, we don't want his blood hanging around because we know how important that is to some people. That we don't want anybody getting their hands on his blood or any other. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think it's a bad deal. And Dearnor's not been vetted by this weird circle of honesty either, so maybe he isn't evil as fuck, because I don't trust him as far as you could throw him.
It is not a cut and dry situation. It's a sort of a Deller and Cooper situation, where do you do the evil thing against the evil person for the benefit of the other evil person? It's complicated. However, I will say that if I were to come to blows with the devil known as Gaziel, I would be bound by my honor to bring back a sample of his blood to Deer.
If you could. If at all possible.
Indeed.
I don't think that should be our concern right now.
I'm just saying that these things are...
Did you have a time limit?
Oh, no.
Then let's not worry about it.
There's a lot of balls in the air.
Yeah. One of the other plates that are spinning while we're even considering the Shadowfell was... And Durrell is now, if I remember correctly, now trying to reshape the Shadowfell, try to take over. He's like the angel of protection or something. I don't really remember the details. I know that he was being sucked dry by a big crystal bad news, and now he was hoping to set things aright.
He gave me his sword.
Yeah. Seemed like a good fellow. I don't know what he's up to. It'd be worth checking in on him if we were ever back in that area.
I might argue that people that arm me might not be considered good fellows by a lot of people.
I mean, he was in a bad way.
He was.
So what do you think that you should be doing?
I think that we should be waiting until the time limit elapses on this meeting with Magnus to see what happens if he shows up. And then if he doesn't show up, we can plan for the day after that. Because if he does show up, we might not have to worry about the future a whole lot. Not all of us anyways. That's what I think.
If I help you face Magnus, will you come to Milanan with me?
mean, if we survive, I'd say that'd be a good plan.
It's a deal.
You're all tangled up.
I know. It's like all over the place.
How do you let it get under yourself?
I don't know. Happens. I turn around. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's like
everywhere.
headphone wires.
Like silly
I
string.
just looked at it, and now it's wrapped in my hair.
Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Sounds like we have everything figured out for now, at least then.
Yep.
And nothing.
Everything and nothing.
This was wasn't a complete waste of time.
It was
I
great.
suppose.
It was actually very productive because now
This was terrible.
this was great because I feel comfortable talking to you and I'm not thinking about how I might have to separate your head from your shoulders. I'm glad to be free of that burden. So,
That being said, I think I will read for 3 hours. And then
I dropped this on the
take-
truth now. A little bit too honest? Yes.
I told you I don't want to know I don't even want to know your thoughts, honestly.
Fair enough.
If I'm to do my job as a counselor,
It is a burden we bear.
For whatever it's worth, I will always try to do the thing that brings the most good. What's your rolling insight?
to you.
I believe you. And then
Yes.
I check and see if, like, the zone zaps me.
That's great. You're like,
You
is it
can lie
gone?
again.
I believe you.
I believe you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, to me. Yes.
Well,
Fuck this corner.
gentlemen, I would say that this has been great, but it hasn't.
I think it has, so it's been great.
There we are, singing the most good, according to you.
This was good.
It was good.
Should we reconvene?
In 16 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Before then,
Then tomorrow morning.
Make what
First thing.
preparations we can.
you might not want to be here tomorrow morning first thing.
You already know that I can get out if I need.
Okay. Does he tell
But
me?
he wasn't there when Shinir or
You can say it out of game. Or in game, I mean.
yes, you were not there when he could teleport.
Oh.
He can.
That's good.
He's the reason everyone was in Linspire the last 3 days.
Right. Good.
Last
That's
day.
good. I'm glad that, yeah.
Apparently that wasn't enough. Well, he stands up, shakes off the anger,
Whatever. You're pissed if he wants to be.
and walks out of the room.
Excuse me, gentlemen, and I go after it.
You go after him?
Yep.
Do you stop him or you walk with him?
I'll walk with him. And then
Always a pleasure.
we don't have to like.
Someone else asked me to do it. Literally. They said, can you do it? I said yes.
He looks visibly frustrated. You haven't ever seen him out of sorts like this. In all your time serving him, he's never quite lost his composure. He didn't really lose it, but he did, compared to what you've seen.
Mhm. I know you are frustrated many times.
Yes.
I know you must be frustrated with me.
Raphael, I would not be frustrated with you. I'm frustrated with the situation.
Yes, I believe that was necessary, though. I must
I
also.
believe it was necessary for you. Because you're going to be spending your days with them, and you need to be. As a soldier, it's hard to trust everyone around you, but you need to trust those that you're close to. Those that you might die with.
And they also trust you now.
I don't need their trust.
I must also apologize because I might have almost
accuse Chanel?
It's a troubling time right now, and it's hard to know who to trust. But I trust you there.
I don't know if I still do.
It would be great if Chanel was evil.
I hope we get to the bottom of it, one way or the other. Until then, I'm gonna go take a nap.
I've got this nice scroll I'm going to read.
So you two walk towards your rooms across the street from the Citadel. You all stay in the Citadel conference room. Glory will get up. Would one of you want to escort me?
I'll do it.
She takes your arm and you start walking out. She's like, I'd like to go to the healer's hall today.
Of course. Whatever you want. Separately.
You walk her to the healer's hall. Merritt, Artigan.
Actually, I was gonna go and see Sean.
Okay. He's probably still there. So you're tagging along while they're escorting, while he's escorting Glory. And Artigan, you are going to read?
Reading for 3 hours and then going to bed.
Are you reading in the conference room? Or like just kick your feet up on the table?
No, I'll go to my room.
Okay. Your room is Delaron's room, so you go upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
You are 10 minutes into your reading and you get a message. It's Magnus Monroe's voice. Artigan, meet me in the forest tonight. 10 p.m. by the boot. Come alone.
And I can respond, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll call you. Don't call me. Be asleep at midnight.
No shit. Whoa. Take that, butthead. AKA, get fucked.
Is that a good point to end?
Maybe.
I think that's a nice cliffhanger.
How about instead, you get dicked? That sounded like to me.
All right. Well, let's call that a game.
Be asleep at midnight.
Nice.
Awesome. Artigan's first step towards defiance.
Yes. Grasp the chalice of Cooper.
Let's go ahead. We'll do a couple shout outs to some of our followers, and then we can do roses and thorns, what we enjoyed about the game, what we didn't enjoy. So, followers, I got Zalero. I think that's how I'm going to say it, because I couldn't tell you otherwise, so thank you for your follow. And Zydus. Thank you for your follow, everyone. We're still doing a giveaway. At 30 subscribers, we're going to be giving away a DM's guide. We're at 25 of 30. Make sure I didn't miss any questions. Someone asked for the plot. I threw in the... it's hard to do a plot. We're almost 50 sessions in. Did I even say what session we're on this time?
49 today.
It's 49.
It's hard to swing to something different.
What?
It's like a different plot arc. It's weird. On session 49.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to
Transition from one plot arc to another.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
It's hard to do a quick synopsis of where we're at. It's also because I feel like, why the fuck are we going to this weird place? That's
You
what
haven't
I'm
gone
thinking
anywhere
of.
yet.
Yeah.
Right.
You haven't decided what to do.
I think that's the. I mean, there's definitely pros and cons, but I think that's the con of having the big bad out there at the beginning, because now anytime you even divert, you're like,
Why would I do that?
but it's right there. It's that guy.
That's something we've talked about, which will probably not happen next campaign.
I think it gives a lot of direction, but it makes it weird whenever you get off course.
But I do like to have the option
Mhm.
on the table.
Yeah.
Like, I can tell you honestly, when I went into this one, I was like, you guys could go in like 10 different directions. I have no fucking clue what you're going to do.
I just want to stay in the city and lock it down.
See? I didn't know that. I figured you might want to go do other crazy things, because that's what you guys do.
I mean, I would like to go to other crazy things, but Cooper, I think, just wants to stay here, get permission to build a wall around the Citadel, get a military force built, train them, and like basically lock down the area here.
They needed a reason to go do anything else, and I think maybe today
They have
the
some,
handshake
they
might
had
have
that
solidified
already.
something different. But
What's up?
You guys had that 4 games ago when he told you all this stuff that's happening in the world. And you guys go, I want to go to the bar and drink and have a funeral for Garavon.
Yes.
yeah, but like as characters, like why would they care of anything other than this Magnus? That is like obviously.
Well,
It's hard to get
I mean,
them to do.
there's definitely the possibility that Monroe is a pawn of Nerul and
Sure.
just like a petty little.
But to us, they're not connected yet,
Mm.
right? It's like,
He might not even want to do the
I don't
Tome
give
of
a fuck
Ascension. It
about
could be someone
Nerul.
else.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
whatever. He's a god. I can't fuck with him. But Magnus is at least mortal for now.
the time being.
Yeah. So he takes the
Yeah.
tome. You have to fuck him up before he gets it.
So,
Yada yada yada.
Right.
we do really need a series called In the Mind of Delaran. Like, it would be just 10 minutes of you rambling about all your, like, crazy thoughts.
Yeah,
Just
you
need to
put a
fuck him
tinfoil
up
hat
before
on,
he
and then you
gets
just
it.
like, then yeah, fuck a Chenier, and put sand up his ass.
Fuck that dirt wizard. I put him in the dirt.
This would be the Alex Jones Delaran special.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. Magnus is making the frogs gay.
Oh shit!
Oh.
Don't spit on me, bro.
They're taking a lot
Good,
of
but
babies.
that's fucking hilarious.
Oh fuck!
So, that was awesome. For all the viewers out there, we do have music on the YouTube channel if you want to use the music for your own games or for your own podcast or streams. You're welcome to. It's non-attribution. No, it's attribution, non-copyright, royalty-free. We're going to do Roses and Thorns. What did you like about the game? What did you not like about the game? Brian, we'll start with you.
All
This
right.
is about you, not your character.
I really enjoyed that that first very narrative session. It was a blast to be able to raise dead when nobody knew Merrick was able to do that.
Yeah, you fucker.
That was awesome. No, that was awesome.
Even I didn't know you could do that.
That was pretty cool.
I was just like, Sean's dead, all right. And you're like,
Yeah.
hey, look, here he is back
No.
alive again.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
We're level 15. We're capable of doing crazy things.
You just never have. It threw
Probably
me
about
for-
a third of my spells I've never cast.
That's probably good.
I don't
Which is
ever
crazy.
cast spells.
It
Fuck
threw
that.
me for a loop.
Yeah.
But I like that. I like winging it. It's fun.
I thought that was really good, and being able to here's session 49. I don't know what I did with that. Whatever.
Boy,
The
if you
com-
only had like a
I only
a
had
notebook and an iPad that had all the sessions together, you just like, oh, look, it's right there.
scroll back and play with my phone. Yeah, but that between that and to rather secretively hide things from the tome, I don't know what's wrong with my brain, but I love keeping secrets from
God
the rest
damn,
of the
you do.
party.
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite. I always love that. My thorn.
Sometimes it works too. Like, cast Ray's dead, and everyone's like, what?
Yeah,
And
That's
sometimes
good.
it
That was
doesn't
like a-
work.
that was a good moment.
Yeah, it was. It's like the twist in a good book.
Yeah.
We were like, holy shit, what?
Yeah.
Like,
That's all right.
whoa.
I love a good twist, usually.
My primary thorn, realistically, I have to scroll back even further than normal. Not just that warm-up phase, but like the true warm-up phase, where it was after 8 o'clock before we got started. I don't care about reading off our intro or followers or recaps. That stuff gets more painful for me every week, and I could leave it all in a second and not shed a single emotional tear. That's that.
There you go. Alex.
Hardest thing in a game is pacing, and I'll say my Thorn would probably be pacing again. My character has plans, but in order to do them, we gotta take a long rest, so...
I'm trying to get you in there, Art, again.
I know.
To do things.
I know. And
You just want to read.
And he made a boot. And that's
He made a tummy. He made a belly button.
And
He
then
made
a
a
belly
belly
button and read a book for 10
I tell you.
hours, hiding in his extra-dimensional space.
I want Artigan to be there and
But-
to experience the world around him.
But Garavon is going to have an amazing belly button. I'm just saying.
Dude. Yeah, that's great, dude.
That's going to be a great belly
Gotta
button.
put one of those big gems we have, give him a nice diamond belly button ring.
What?
But no, I have plans, and I've had plans since the beginning of the game, and just couldn't get to them before we ran out of time. So, and you got a glimpse of what my plans were going to be.
That's true. Did you do your rose?
My rose,
He didn't have a roast today, Ryan.
no,
He made
it's-
a belly
could
button.
happen.
That was his great accomplishment.
I mean, the rose, I would say, is partially... I don't know if you're working the tomes like they normally would, but you have 6 days to read all of it. So, for the game item.
That's good to know.
I don't know if you're working it like that, but I would say getting the time in there, not having anything to do is kind of being like, oh, well, I guess I'll work on this. So, one day, 10 hours in, I'm already 25% done for the 6-day requirement. So I think I made some good headway on that.
There you go.
So
I didn't know that part.
Yeah, it all has to be done within 6 days.
Gotta make it happen for a few of these days.
Okay. You have to give it a go. It's
We're
not
just gonna
like
have to time lapse.
It's not the way I read books, where I'm like 4 pages, come back again.
It's the way I read books.
Yeah.
Frosty asked
like-
if there's a 10-day limit on Raised Dead, they could have brought Garavon back.
That's yes, we could
Yeah.
have done
I
that.
have been told after I learned how to do it that Garavon would be unwilling to return.
So Raised Dead has a condition on it called, not even call it, just says that if the soul is unwilling, then they won't come back. And I think Matt's kind of committed to your next character.
Yeah, dude.
And
He's
I-
a lot better.
I like your character. I like
Merritt didn't
Garavon
have
too.
that spell until
Yeah,
we leveled up to 15.
which was after Garavon died.
After Garavon died, and after you introduced your new character, and we'd already gone through the funeral, and
So-
you had said you were kind of looking forward to playing this guy. So
Yeah.
that was what prompted Merritt to refocus that energy to try to expand.
Hey, you had an opportunity to use it right away.
Yeah.
Which was kind of awesome. You brought back the eyeless guy. That's pretty cool.
has it been more than 10 days already since
No,
Garavon died?
he
now?
could try it.
No, in theory,
He might
could.
still try it,
Yeah.
and it just won't happen.
Yeah, if
And we could do that off
Or it
camera.
would, but Ryan would
Yeah.
have to play him as an NPC.
I think it would be pretty cool to have.
You don't like
Garavon, I kill my friends.
yeah, all of a sudden Merritt gets an arrow to the neck. You're like, what the hell happened?
Why did you bring me back?
So, yes.
So, yeah, I'm
No.
assuming that Merritt probably will attempt that, if only to commune with him and see if there is a willingness.
Sure.
But
That might be interesting.
It could be.
there's a lot of stuff going on, like you guys have said, so we might not be able to do it right away.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Garavon. Speaking of Garavon, Matt. Roses and Thorns.
So Thorn, I'm gonna go off of Alex. I think there was a lot of interesting stuff that happened. There was a part in the first half. I think the first part of the first half was really interesting. But then I guess like the pacing, like the conversations with the soldiers, I don't know if that was too important. We could probably
I like that a lot.
This was like an A+
That was
Brian
a lot
game.
of fun for me.
I understand why a lot of people wouldn't get into it.
So I didn't mind it. I think I don't know. We could have probably fast forwarded through a few things, but
Josh is like, no.
I really liked the soldier scene. That was like my favorite part of the whole day.
Really?
Yeah.
That was the favorite part?
Yeah, that was my favorite part.
My favorite part was like when Ryan
Some people's
Ryan
thorn is another person's rose. Trash and treasure.
Right. Yeah, no, I
mean,
really
it was
liked it.
it was okay, but I guess I was just really frustrated with those fucking soldiers because, like, out of game, I was getting pissed off at them. That's why I was kind of getting a little snarky. I was your hype. I was like,
Why they treat me
man. I
like
was like,
shit? I'm
why are
like,
you
no,
fucking
it's
treating
okay.
them like
It's
shit?
all
Like,
right. Sorry.
just tell us what we need to know so we can get on with the rest of the story, yo.
No,
You're not important. You are not important, you shit raker.
No, I enjoyed it. That's fucked
That
up.
would have been an interesting story.
I really wanted to
Done
say
that.
it. I think that's why Garabon turned over because I just like was pouring my frustrations out of the game with Garabon.
Yeah, sure, man.
He was an asshole because I was just like, let's get fucking go, dude.
Shit, yeah, no. I that was my favorite part of the whole day because like a lot of times people see like how much of an asshole Cooper can be, like with Maritime, right? Like that comes through pretty well. Like Cooper can be a total dick and just be raw and abrasive and be like, get fucked, I'm gonna cut your head off, whatever. But like inside, like when I think of Cooper, I don't think of him as like a bad guy. He's just like kind of fucked up and a little bit too direct. But like when he was mucking for that one soldier and he was talking to the other soldier and he just was like honestly wanted the best thing for the soldiers in the city, like I think that kind of came through in that scene, and that was a piece of Cooper that like I don't get to play a lot and I don't think people see really often.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I really liked it, because he was just mucking because he wanted to help out, invited those guys to come by because he wanted them to have some good food and he felt bad for them mucking. There wasn't any ulterior motives, you know, he was just who he
Except
is.
he wanted to know what was going on.
But he was upfront about that. It wasn't like,
Sure.
you know, some hidden thing. He was just like, hey, I just want to know and make sure that the guy that's going to get the job is a good guy for everybody.
I thought you guys were going to instill leadership into this town through your citadel, but you opted out.
Yeah, Cooper doesn't want
Well,
to lead anything.
I'm trying to make a side council.
The side council, I'm talking about leading the city.
Well, I was told that I would not. It would not be good to have one person from here, like, actually being involved in the Citadel.
You could have
It's
picked
also-
someone.
Well, I'm working on that
They're
by
voting today.
Done.
But support
Your.
Yeah.
But that's another part of the story that
Yeah.
you didn't get to.
Nah, I mean, Cooper.
And you didn't want to. I thought you really did, but then you went in it like, no, this is what I really want.
Yeah, no, Cooper wasn't trying, because literally he doesn't think that he's a good leader. Like, I, as a person, don't think he's horrible in, like, crisis situations. He could be like, do this, do that, everybody have hit points, yay, whatever. He's not super bad at it, but, like, he doesn't see himself as a good leader.
He's still 19.
Yeah, he's a young kid who's fucked up a lot of things and feels kind of bad about it. He just wants everything to turn out all right and doesn't always know how to go about it super well.
Let's hit your thorns, since we got to each of your roses.
Oh,
I just like hot.
no,
No,
my
it's
thorn was
good.
his rose. So my rose was
Oh, there you go. Flip it. Flip
right.
it.
So my rose was.
I hope you pick the opposites again.
It's so good.
The role playing we did have today was like A+. Like, besides like the part that I thought lethargic, that just second half of the first part, like the other 3/4 were just like A+. Like, keeping secrets from us, agreed. That's freaking awesome. Like, that was a
Don't encourage him.
wow. Well, why not, dude? That's a wow moment. Because if I knew that he could do that, I'd be like, Jesus, like, you got to do that all the time. Like, it's not a big deal if I already know. Well, it's not a big deal if I already know. The role playing with the Zone of Truth. That's like the first time that you used that.
Second.
Second time.
Tell you some other time.
With Shanir.
Chenier.
I Zone of Truth Schneer?
And the king.
You did.
Really?
Yeah, King
Long,
Galen.
long time ago.
Did they ask me to do it?
You cast it,
did it.
everyone saved, but you guys, you got all pissed off, and you're like, fine, you guys don't want to fucking, fine, let's do this. What do you want?
And then
Really?
then everyone agreed to do it.
And then everyone agreed to do it, and everyone failed their save on purpose, and I don't really know what questions you asked. I don't quite remember.
That was a while ago.
Either.
By a while, I mean like a million years.
I wonder if we ask questions that, if I remember, would currently exonerate Schneer from suspicion. That
You have no
I
idea.
don't remember.
I'll go back and listen to those. I'll go
Okay.
back and listen. I'll let you
All
know.
right, all
You don't know. Maybe you remember, like, in the back of your mind, like, we had that, but did we ask any questions about this?
The thing is that later on in the future, he'll probably remember what questions I asked him more than I'll remember.
If that comes up. Not like I've listened to the episode recently.
I mean, I'm probably going to catch him in a dark alley and not punch him until he cries about the truth.
So, Thorn pacing Rose, the other role playing besides the soldier scene.
Well, not just the soldier scene. I think it kind of was just like, I don't know.
It had a rough start.
Yeah, like I felt bad when like the whole first half, Alex was just in.
Alex!
Well, he was like, I'm going to go here. You know, and it kind of seemed like, sometimes it seems like you're going to end the scene and end the night. So it's like safe to go somewhere and rest up. But then it turns into like, okay, anything else? And then
We do something.
then everybody does something except for the person that's.
I will say there's a
hiding.
reason Argan's being off on his own,
Oh, goddamn.
thinking kind of thing.
Artigan lately.
During the Zone of Truth, Artigan never at any point conclusively said that he wasn't going to fuck us by giving Magnus the tome.
God damn it.
He didn't say anything yes or no, even though he was asked directly.
Nope, very aware
Yeah.
of the fact that Artigan totally hedged the truth pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your thorn?
I didn't really like the Zone of Truth scene. Like, I feel like...
Wait, wasn't that your Rose? Yes, it did
Yeah.
happen.
You liked the Zone of Truth scene?
I did
the
like
most?
it
Oh, I
because,
didn't like it.
because it like it finally stamped like a handshake between us that okay, I'm helping you, and you're gonna be helping me.
Okay, this is hilarious.
So
that
like,
part
and it
was
took
good.
so long
Yeah.
for that.
No, that part was really good.
Raphael's been how many games?
Like 5 or 6.
5 or 6 games, and you guys are still like, he's the outsider.
I mean, he'll always be the new guy.
Sure.
But he might be the new guy that, like, you know, like...
I don't know.
that's
I think
cool.
Lorenzo hit French like probably like 5 or 6 episodes in.
No, Garabon.
Not with Garabon, but Garabon don't count. He was an asshole.
I find it funny that
It
the one
was.
person that didn't consider the outsider a friend is
He's
now the outsider.
yeah, right, yeah, that's pretty good.
So what about it did you not like?
Your shots were so much better than mine.
Because, like,
I was so mad.
I feel like I'm trying hard to, like, twist Cooper slowly into a new shape. But, like, during the Zone of Truth scene, his, like, a lot of his old proclivities really came out. Like, he was like, I should spend some time talking to that guy alone. And I was like, while I was saying it, I was like, fuck, that's not really a good look for you if you're trying to, like, turn over a new leaf and be a better version of you. But it's also part of Cooper that's maybe always going to be a little bit there, right? That he's
So
like...
you amplified your flaws.
I mean, it just, like, everybody saw them, right? Including him. He had to confront that was in him. And I think that at this point...
How is that a bad? That's a great thing. I like that. I like the muddy water.
Yeah, I wish that he were better than he is.
Oh, your redemption arc.
And I think Cooper also probably kind of wishes it, but still is
Redemption arc.
I know. I think Cooper also wishes to be better than he is, but he's just not sometimes, right? Like, he's just like, maybe it could save people if we torture the fuck out of somebody. Does that mean we should do it? I don't know. I kind of lean towards yes, but everybody else is shaking their head at me. So, yeah, I feel like that was an uncomfortable moment for me as a player. I feel like Cooper still doesn't quite get it. He's still kind of like, guys, this is maybe good.
All right, Thorn.
That was my thorn.
My Thorn.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all split the fucking party.
I tried not to. Right? Did you see me trying not to?
I
Did you
had
see
to.
that?
How do I involve Merritt doing his thing, Artigan doing his thing, Raphael and Alandra doing their thing, and give everyone equal playtime when you split the goddamn party?
I tried really hard to keep us together, and then when everybody went separate ways, I was like, fuck it.
Well, like I said, though, it was late at night.
No, it wasn't.
And yeah, it was. At the beginning
You
of
just
it,
woke up.
you said it was 12 at night.
You just woke up.
But you said it was like 12 at night.
But you just woke up.
Nobody else was up, and we were just waking up.
That
It was
frustration was
that-
great.
Yeah,
No,
like,
it wasn't.
it's but Ryan, like for me, it seemed like you were gonna pass some time, so that's why I was just like, I'm just gonna go sit outside and watch the
I don't mind passing time.
Watch
so
the
here's my dilemma. I like passing time, but I don't want to just leave your options off the table.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to include this bit where you thought it might be boring. I could have skipped your entire soldier scene.
Mhm.
I could have just said, that happened, you found this out, and you're done.
But at first I kind of wanted that. At first I was like, just tell me what I find out. But then you were like, no, you're going to do it. I'm like, all right. And then we did it, and I really liked it. I was like, that's cool.
So I could just skip these things and be like, all right, Merritt, you write some letters, cool. You talked to Adina, you raised him from the dead. All right, cool. We're done with that. Let's move on to the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not always
that's
so
the
fun.
story. That's
That's the
what you're here
meat
for.
to get to the dessert, which everyone loves a good combat. But there's story in between all the combat.
I like story a lot. I don't always like it when the combat's like super hard and brutal and challenging and people are almost dying or dying. Like sometimes combat is not like that. Sometimes it's like you're into 5 goblins. You're level 15. You shit stomp them a little bit. You move on, right? But then you go to the town and like this guy's ambiguously not a great guy and this other guy's kind of a good guy, but maybe he's like doing bad things and it's all complicated and weird and you got to sort that shit out. And
So,
that's the game.
Bringing it back to my thorn, as you split the party up, it makes it harder and harder and harder to get you guys to like, what are you doing? What are you're reading in your mansion, Alex? No, why are you doing this to me?
Because he wants +2.
On another plane of existence.
See,
Where nothing is happening and no one cares.
but I also knew that my character was in his own space, and I wanted you to skip me so that you could get to everyone else so they could get their meat and potatoes. Because I'm just interested in the dessert at the moment. I want to get to the next day. If that makes
This
sense.
wants the dessert.
Yeah,
I
he is.
understand. I guess just my own DM. That's against everything I believe in as a DM. I
Yeah.
want you to have fun.
I know. I was personally trying to pass time. And by skipping my turn in the revolving door of you split the party, because I know I did.
Yeah, that was partly your fault too. So I felt a little less bad.
At least you didn't kill him afterwards.
And yeah, so there's my thorn. Pacing, we didn't start till 8. And I think everyone was just a little loopy this morning. A lot loopy. But
It's a lot of thorns.
I would say my rose for this game, I really liked the Raise the Dead. It definitely threw me for a loop. Didn't know you had it. And I like winging it sometimes. Not all the time. I'll admit that sometimes when you make me wing it, it is just the worst. Like, what the fuck is going on?
No, you mean the best. That's when it's awesome.
But it was really cool to see him come back and to now have an eyeless friend that he has a story. He was just Brother Sean. Like, nobody really knew him anything more than Brother Sean.
Yeah, now he's like...
And he was the red shirt. He was the red shirt of your story.
He was supposed to die.
Mhm.
And you're like, I'm not going to let it happen.
Yeah, now we have
Boom.
an eyeless priest who saw into the afterlife and will never see in the regular life again.
So that was really cool. And I did like the soldier scene. I liked the Zone of Truth scene. I like all this. I get a B in every scene. Like,
I mean, yeah.
when you split the party, I get to be everybody. I think probably my favorite out of all the scenes, though, is the Zone of Truth, because you learned a little bit more about Maritime than he wanted you to.
Yeah, he doesn't give a
Including
shit about
more
that
than I
town over
wanted you
there.
to.
He's like, I want to know about God. I don't care about that town. He's like,
And then you
can we
asked
stop?
some like pretty hard questions that he had to answer, and he was not happy about it. And I liked that. I liked that there was another dimension to this character where you're like, have you ever moved against another council member? And it's like, well,
Yes.
fuck you too.
Yeah, right.
That's kind of cool.
I really thought hard about pissing off everybody in the circle and just being like, what's the one question you don't want me to ask? And then asking that question just to fuck everybody up.
I mean, they could have said, I don't want to answer that.
I don't know my character
I mean,
well enough to answer that.
The one thing that I didn't want anyone to ask me is the thing that you guys asked me, but I knew by succeeding in the role, it would have pissed you off more. So I just did it.
Yeah, and then you were just like, I haven't made my decision yet.
You never gave a yes or no, Artigan.
Nope,
I know.
you were evasive.
So I really liked that scene because it gave another dimension to the soon-to-be now trustworthy ally who obviously has more going on than he tells you.
Yeah.
And more going on than even I know at times. Because I can't write everyone's story, like 5 pages for every NPC. And it's fun to develop the stories as we go.
And you got 3 more retainers now.
And I got 3 more retainers. I don't even remember their names.
The world grew by 3.
Frederick.
Gillian.
Gilligan.
I thought you were saying Froderick when you were saying
That's
Frederick.
what I
and I was
thought,
like,
too.
this is bad.
Frederick.
Not Froderick, please.
Frederick. Is it with a U or an E?
Frederick.
It's Frederick.
Frederick.
Yeah, like Fred.
One more time?
Frederick.
Butter?
Frederick.
All right, man. I'm just going to let you go on that one. We'll let it slide.
Rainer Reynold Frederick.
You're from what state again?
Linspire.
Wisconsin?
Frederick.
Well, that was my Roses and Thorns. I actually enjoyed a game of all role playing.
Well, you know, like in splitting the party, like if you go back and listen, I don't know if you guys do, but if you go back and listen, it's almost a little bit more interesting to listen to when it's split up.
More
I don't
stories.
know. Yeah, yeah.
I
There's
like
just, like
scenes where you're all together. I really like the Zone of Truth scene because I only had to focus on one thing.
It's easier for you when we're together than when we split. It might be better to listen to when we're split. Audience, cover your ears. I don't care what listening to it is like. I'm here to play a game. So that's why I don't go back and listen to them, because I'm here to play.
No, but even playing, go back to the, I always go back to this one because it was so awesome, but the episode where we storm River Storm, with the merit causes commotion, and everybody's like, I was just calmly walking, but every time Ryan got to me, I'm just calmly walking, and there's chaos, and I'm visiting that, and then all of a sudden, I'm on the horse with you and, well, not physically, or in game, but all of a sudden now here's Merritt and Delaron rioting and trying, doing what they're doing, and then here's Lorenzo going, I don't know, it was kind of interesting.
You got to play 3 people in one game or something.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm Jay, I'm Lorenzo, I'm the other guy.
But it was
but
it was so fun because and it was paced perfectly. So maybe that's the reason. It was
the
maybe
pacing
a little
was
more.
good. There's been a couple of those. Was it Woodhaven was another good where the split was really good.
Right. When
'Cause
it's
it was
just the action was
this
bam,
over
bam,
here,
that
bam,
was
bam,
rough
bam,
for me.
bam, bam.
Yeah, but it felt fun. And
That's good because
no
it
one
was
felt
rough for me.
being left out. I didn't feel like I was being left out when it was on my turn.
It was really interesting playing Jay, who had a conflict of interest with the king, to just destroy you and then have another character of mine come back and save you.
Yeah.
Which
that
was awesome.
Yep.
You beat him down, then you helped him up.
Beat me viciously, too. It wasn't even a little bit. It was fucked me up.
And that's something I like to keep in mind is I'm here to help you guys have fun. Regardless of the audience. We love our audience. But we're here to play a game. We're here to have fun, and that's one of the reasons why I don't ever want this stream to be we're going to take polls from the audience of what should happen or donations for inspirations.
I mean, sometimes I ask because I think it's a fun thing to ask. I'll be like, what do you guys actually do? Blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't happen a whole lot.
Yeah, and then they tell you the worst thing you should do, and then you jump off a goddamn rock.
That
into
was
the void.
great. That was amazing.
That was a long ending of a rant, but
I gotta pee.
Me too.
we're gonna call it there.
That's 2 out of 3.
Any last words?
Fuck you, man.
Pee pee poo poo.
Yeah, that's always your last
Any
word.
last words? Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure that you subscribe if you haven't. If you didn't know this, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can subscribe to one Twitch stream free. And if you wanted to, you can make it ours. Just saying.
Wow.
Yeah, how's
Thanks,
that?
guys. Take it easy.